tell you something that I figured out the hard way. Heaven knows I do find a peace, paradise hidden in the weeds, but not just me in real life. Love that no one can take away. It's a little more to every day, but not just me in real life. The cold gets in your jacket, and sometimes you just hear static. It doesn't mean you gotta change your ways. That's just life some days. Don't go messing with your heart. Don't you go messing with your heart. That's the only thing that beats the same. It reminds you from where you came. Heaven knows that you found a peace, paradise hidden in the weeds, but not just me in real life, just me in real life. Love that no one can take away, 'cause it gets a little more to every day, but not just me in real life, just me in real life. Can you feel like, who are you deep down? Can you feel like you're not trying to be someone now? Who are you deep down?
Whoa. Welcome on in, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Hopefully you're all having a lovely day, lovely night, lovely afternoon, lovely whatever you may be having, wherever you might be. Sorry for the slight delay on the start there. Turns out I am still unwell, which just gives us a little bit of a delay at the start there, but thankfully we're here on reasonable time. Happy to be in. Hopefully you're having a lovely day. Let me catch up with chat and see how everyone is doing. Hey Spider, hey Death, hey Ace, hey Kappa, hey Elliot. Elliot's got a question for us. 4K credits and Shuri in your shop. Ooh. So that's very much going to be a personal preference thing, I think. Shuri's obviously a very powerful card, worth buying, but almost certainly going to be a Series 3 card eventually. So you're going to lose some value to have access to it now. But obviously then you have the ability to save up and buy a Series 5 card that will always be Series 5. So it's very much going to be a case of like now versus later, and that's, I think, a personal opinion more than a fact in a lot of cases. So good luck with the choice. Hopefully you find whichever of those you think is preferable to you. Good to see you all. Been loving getting knocked down to rank 10. Fair enough. Zero pressure. Makes sense, my dude. Makes sense. Speaking of zero pressure, I'm gonna take it slow tonight. I want to play decks that I enjoy. Simply put, I'm in the mood to play some stuff that I find fun, and if we manage to ladder while we're doing it, that'd be great. But after last night, it's pretty clear to me. Hey, Xenon, how you doing? Peelmer, welcome. How we doing? Kang waiting, can't say I blame you. Hey, Anders, how we doing? I'm improving slowly, thank you very much. I will be having a bit of a break very soon from making content for a bit to actually try and recover properly, but getting better slowly but surely. But yeah, I think it's pretty clear that regardless of what we do, we're getting leeched. Like, we're getting leeched a lot, we're getting shuried a lot, there's nothing we can do about that. So I would rather play games with decks that I enjoy, and see what we can do. We'll worry about laddering up later on. But I'd rather just have a good time. Good times are important. So tonight, I'm going to start things off with an old favourite, a deck that I really enjoy playing. I know a good number of you do as well. So hopefully we can have some success with this one. It is, of course, the lovely, wonderful Serra Control. Serra Control, not quite the kingpin that it once was in a game like Marble Snap. But this kind of just embodies everything I enjoy doing in Marble Snap. I like reacting to my opponents. I like big, powerful swings, fighting over locations, hiding information. That's very much my kind of stick. And this list is pretty cool. It's teched a little bit to be better into the metagame, give you more game into Galactus, give you more game overall. through Polaris and Aero. Love the Scarlet Witch inclusion. We've obviously had a lot of success with Scarlet Witch in the past. Love the Mysterio Bishop inclusion. These are all things that I enjoy in Serra Control. So we're going to start here. We're going to see if we can't have a decent shot at earning some cubes and laddering up in the process, and hopefully just have a nice, relaxed, laid-back set of games tonight. So if you're making your way through the door early, you know what you need to do. Brand new sub coming in. Thank you very much, Elliot. Appreciate you. Welcome on into the channel. You know what you need to do? Like the stream for me. Just scroll down real quick. Go press that thumb. Send us out to as many people on YouTube as we can. Get everybody in here, having a party, having a good time, and letting YouTube know that you enjoy our content. That would be much, much appreciated. So please just take a couple seconds to go and do that if you're joining me here early tonight. With all that said, let us get into some games and start controlling some people. See if we can put up our own against the mighty Thanos and Shuri, shall we? Let's get ourselves ticking. Oh, well, we'll try to get ourselves ticking if the client wants to let us play games anyway. Took a second. Oh, okay. And relax. He says before the client freezes. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're all good. We have a Spider-Man in the way. I would really rather this not be our evening today. I would rather be able to play Marvel Snap over having technical issues. It's trying. Hey Nobles, how we doing? Okay. That took a second for the game to start working, but we're all good. John Jacob Jenkelheimer Schmidt. His name is my name too. Whenever I go out, the people always shout, "There goes John Jacob Jenkelheimer Schmidt." Yeah, this is true. If you, for what it's worth, if you think we're terrible and you think the content is terrible, feel free to dislike it as well. YouTube does not care. Very nice, Spider. Congratulations. Yes, this is a. I'm going to call this a streaming issue more than it is anything else. Because I'm running so much stuff to have the stream operating. The sad truth is, I'm kind of poor. My setup is not the best. So when I have everything running with the music, the lights, the streaming software, the game, I have some issues with the desktop client lagging sometimes, and I do my best to mitigate it by keeping everything to minimum levels and low graphics and stuff. But every now and then, we will get ourselves caught with some lag, some issues that are a bit beyond my control. So I'm going to try and hold this Killmonger for as long as I can, because, I mean, look at the opponent's board. Opponent will snap. Do I have time for the Bishop? Don't think I do. Excuse me? Why are we playing armor now? Why is armor a card that we're playing in our Thanos decks? That's not a thing you should be doing. That's rude. What are my thoughts on the move cards coming out in a few months? Honestly, Andrew, I've not had enough time to really stop and think about their applications. And I don't think I'm going to either, just off the back of the fact that there's a very good chance the format looks very different by the time they actually get to us. I think I have to Killmonger now to play around the Leech, because I already got armored. Imagine if this armor wasn't here. Just imagine. Yeah, enchanting the armor was definitely tempting. I guess I was just a little too worried about Leech. Maybe the worry is too real. I know of no rumored nerf to Leech currently. I know it's on a watch list. I don't know if I would count that as a rumored nerf per se. Kind of wish I had a one-cost card here to go alongside this arrow. It would make my life a lot easier. I think we're still going for this. Kind of sucks, but I think we're still going for it. Opponent went over here anyway. Had their own arrow. Sure. So we were never beating the arrow then, in which case. That's a shame. Cool. Yeah, unfortunately, I am hearing stories, Drake Main and Spider, of people playing against Galactus down in, like, rank 12, which is obviously kind of messed up. I guess we'll see, Luke. I kind of have gone on the record about this one before. I'm not really sure how you fix Leech. Like, I agree with the sentiment that the game needs a safety valve. Like, you have to have the ability to keep the turn 6 combo decks in check, but there has to be a way of doing that that isn't, like, as miserable as Leech is. This is not ideal. We still have our rank in the middle of the game board at this moment in time. There it goes. Finally. We can load other assets. We've gained a Viper. Okay, so I think I just Mysterio here and then Viper the dead Mysterio across. I don't think they're common down there. But as I say, I have seen screenshots of that happening, which is certainly kind of wild. Well, I think we're skipping for Collapse Mine. And then we're probably just going to go Viper Scarlet Witch. Yeah, I know some people are kind of on board with the idea of having Leech basically work for a turn. Don't hate it. Seems like an okay fix. Let's get our magic on here.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
So we know we've got a beat 12 mid, which is definitely doable. Off the fact that we have an extra turn our opponent didn't expect us to have, pretty clearly. I think I'm actually leaning towards Polaris here. I think so. Oh, we are having some real lag here. Pull the Mysterio in. We're not actually in the best of spots here, really, are we? Hand ended up being quite expensive. I can add 4 over here, which means we win if they play less than 2 on the leech. This is like not good. I think this is the best we've got. Do it this way, because then the Shang beats the, like, Chavez. Or the Death. That also works. Oh, Shang-Chi. Sadly, not enough here, as the Death was really cheap. Unfortunate. Pretty rough start. Okay. Let's try and sort both the lag out and these games out. If we keep lagging, I might just have to knock the music on the head for a bit and see how we do. So far, we're doing a pretty bad job at drawing Sarah. You know, not great for this deck. Pretty happy to front load the Angela here. This seems fine. Opponent with the same thought process. We gain a Raft. Okay, well, we're definitely playing the Bishop here. Oh. Opponent with a very similar thought process. Hey Momo, how we doing? Hopefully all is okay with you. Okay, so I think this ends up being... Hey Lou, thank you for the $4 super chat, my friend. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you for supporting Marvel Snapstone.
Sir, please put down the spear.
So I think we do this way. Try and draw cards. Opponent manages to fill the Raft. Jeez. Same thought process, but the Angela's less cool, and your play is superior as a result. Yeah, I'm improving, thank you, Momo. Slowly but surely. I appreciate the drop-in for sure, Lou. It means a lot. Thank you. Yeah, I recently picked up the Polaris avatar, and it's actually one of the ones I prefer of the bunch, so I am currently using it. We'll see whether or not that remains the case. Opponent's Widow's Bite shutting me off drawing cards from Asgard is, like, miserable. But I guess we do what we have to do. Opponent Falcons their stuff back. What's the 6? So the 6 is still in hand. No third Mysterio, off the back of the fact that they did not have space. Well, that Scarlet Witch has the potential to be quite good here, I think. So we're going to go like this. Hope we're good. Yeah, that Black Widow was pretty nasty. Speaking of nasty, opponent's Darkhawk is kind of nasty here. The Collector avatar from the Season Pass, I like that one too. think we are short here again, unfortunately. That Darkhawk is a little larger than we had anticipated for. We only remove 8 on the side, which means we're short by 1 over there as well. No, wait, we get there on the Nova, right? We get there on Nova? Close one. Very, very close one. Alright, folks, I'm going to have to knock the music on the head for a minute just to see whether or not we can prevent some of this lag. Jay, thank you for the sub. I appreciate you. Welcome on in to the channel. Bear with me a second. I'll turn the game music back on so we have something in the background. But I think having music on right now might not be helping my lag situations, so we'll try again in a little bit. But for now, let's try and keep the stream running smoothly, even if that means we have to go without the music for a bit. Yeah, look at the immediate increase in speed. Like, Google Chrome is a resource hog, and it knows it. Such a shame. Such a shame, but we'll have to make do for now. Gonna hold the Mysterio for post-Bishop, and we want to keep the Lizard out of Nidavellir. Kills my vibe a bit. Wanted to chill, wanted to relax, but stuff gone break otherwise. We'll be good. That was a really close game, that last one, to be honest. I'm pleasantly surprised that the Nova managed to get us over the line. So this is definitely some Shuri Zero goodness. Polaris probably going to come in clutch here a little bit later. Speaking of clutch, I imagine Shang-Chi is likely going to be the same. Opponent with the Cosmo, sure. We find a Killmonger. Killmonger's actually going to get surprisingly good value here. I think we just maybe we don't Polaris. Maybe we just fire the Killmonger while we know we can. Opponent does indeed have the Shuri. Okay. Yeah, Luke, I've looked into Opera GX a little bit, honestly. It's something I'm going to have to make more of an active effort to resolve, I think, just because I've only really started having these lag issues recently. So I'll have to look into what my best solution is. Which is fine. I think I'm going to snap here. I think we're in pretty good shape. Opponent had a arrow with no effect. I think Death Wave is a much better option for you climbing. Much better option for you climbing in lower ranks. I think the card gets a fair bit worse for you in higher ranks. This Cosmo is proving to be more of a pain than I'd hoped, actually, with this current hand. Because I can't just arrow into the same lane, which is a bit rubbish. Like, I guess I'm just supposed to do this for stats. Oh, you had the Titania as well. Sunspot? Sunspot's good enough, right? No, we get there on breakers on the Sunspot? Cool, we're all good. I was like, we lose to Taskmaster Titania, but we beat Taskmaster Sunspot. Nice. I don't think Yellow Jacket's viable outside of Adam Warlock. I think the only other deck I've seen Yellow Jacket in are Valkyrie Control and Galactus. I don't think I've seen it anywhere else other than Adam Warlock decks. So I would look there if you're looking for a place to play it. Cool. Bit of an awkward game there, the last one, to be honest, but figured out that we did in fact beat everything that wasn't Taskmaster Titania. So it's definitely worth playing out even after our perhaps a little bit of an aggressive snap. Okay, Wakanda is probably fine, depending on what our opponent's up to. They are sunspotting, not in Wakanda, so not worried about Killmonger or the like.
Live from the Daily Bugle.
We gain our opponent's Shang-Chi. I agree, Anders, for sure. Like I miss having my music on right now, for sure. But we're not getting folded in half by Leech quite as early, quite as often. So, admittedly, there is still just a pile of Shuri Zero and Thanos up here. Yellow Jacket I've seen in Galactus before in order to give yourself priority ahead of Cosmo. I don't think it was good, but I have seen it. Because it can also take priority away when you don't want to have it. They also tend to play Adam Warlock in those versions. If Titania was killed by Killmonger earlier, which is a good point, you are correct, it was, then we didn't lose to anything there, so that decision should not have been anywhere near as hard as it was. Think I just burn the Enchantress on the Lizard here, try and draw cards. Turn the Lizard ability off. Don't think we're going to be Enchantressing very much in this matchup. Oh boy! Turn 4 Leech count. 1. We do find our Killmonger, which means that we do still have the ability to do things, even if we get leeched. Which is good. I like doing things. Doing things is solid. Opponent with a Devil Dinosaur. Imagine having 2 Shang-Chis in your hand, and neither of them does anything. Just imagine. Well, all we can do here, really, is this, and hope it's good. The turn 4 leech count is uno momento, por favor. I mean, the count is not 1 moment, please, but the count is 1. Opponent went with the 11 power Thanos mid, which we are not going to beat here, unfortunately. We only come in at 9 in the middle and 11 on the left. Had to hope they went a little bit wider than bigger, hence why we diversified ourselves the way that we did. But to be fair, even if we play this on the left, we only go to 15 anyway, and then we're way behind in the middle. So if they have the Thanos and play the Thanos, we are not winning that game. And that's okay. I think it's definitely a sign of the times, though, that we're starting to see Thanos decks playing armor. Starting to realize the only thing they're worried about is Killmonger. Kind of scary. Okay. Think I'm fine to make myself another lizard. Okay, Thanos count. Another one. Now our lizard has a doubled effect in the middle, which is not ideal. May have to Scarlet Witch that one away. Well, we're not running. Yeah, to be fair, I'm way more palatable with Sandman than I am Leech. Like, and again, I've said this like 7,000 times at this point, but I actually don't think Leech is too good. I think for the most part, Leech is fine. I just think it's kind of miserable. Look at this armor. How are we in the world where we're playing armor in our Thanos decks? Feel like I'm about to get leeched. Okay, no leech, just the blue marble. Blue marble's still pretty good, admittedly. That makes some sense, Lou, as well, to be fair. I could see that. Okay. I think I'm going to arrow left here. So we had to pull the lockjaw across and stop that from happening at least. Opponent pulls a soul stone out of the bottom. We get the lockjaw across into Washington, D.C., which means that our final play here has to be Shang-Chi Mysterio. But we have to go real Mysterio here. Alright. Play something big, my friend. Let Shang-Chi do the work. We don't much care about a Valkyrie. That's fine. Quinjet? Quinjet is big enough to die because of the blue marble, which is beyond funny to me. Alright. Stonks. We are certainly picking up these 4-cube games with this one. I can't complain too much so far about the consistency. I reckon I'd be able to pick up more cubes if I was less cowardly about snapping back, so we'll try and remedy that. I guess I'm just like so paranoid about getting leeched that I don't want to lose 4 cubes to a leech. But like, it feels like decks like this are so good against Thanos when you don't get leeched. You have all the right tools. The question is if you still have all the right tools. Indeed, Sarah is still kind of bae. I just love playing these types of decks. So after yesterday trying to experiment with our good friend Nimrod, I needed a day of playing some games of Snap where I was just playing cards that I like and doing things that I think are cool. And so we're going to just focus on playing decks that I enjoy. Opponent gets a nice little energy bump off of the Altar of Death. We've gained a second Strange Academy. Sure. And this is just Tempo Polaris, unfortunately. It's not very exciting, but it will in fact do the job. Oh! Kneel before Gary. There he is. The Galaxy Man. So, do we play around the Spider-Man, or do we play around the other stuff? Well, the truth is, we're not beating the Spider-Man anyway. So, if we get spidered, we just retreat, because we aren't beating it regardless. But we can beat other stuff thanks to Shang-Chi. So, we'll take the pass and try to lose priority if possible. Confusing. Not entirely sure what that achieved. It did manage to keep priority with me, which kind of sucks. was trying to lose it. I think that probably turns on the opposing death, is probably the thought process. Killmonger away 2 wands. Yeah, I think I'm just retreating. I think it's fairly face up that we're dead there. If we can lose priority, I think it's a different story, but we cannot quite lose priority, which means I'm pretty sure the only reason my opponent makes that play is to boost their death and null, which are the cards that we cannot get around because of still having priority. Indeed, death count is correct. Chat got there by the looks of it just about the same time that I did. I was just a bit slow to figure it out. Clear our rocks and we'll carry on. Don't mind skipping out on rocks to clear. Well, skipping out on Angela to clear rocks there. To be honest, we'll set the bishop up. I still need a good Enchantress variant. Like, Enchantress, Shang-Chi are cards that I play so often, and I do not have a good variant for. Like, really want one. Hopefully one turns up in a reserve for me sooner rather than later. I would like some. Opponent's Mysterio is looking hella cool. Big fan of this Mysterio variant, it's very nice. Okay. So I believe we're playing a mirror match here. Which makes me want to take away Nidavellir. Because I don't think I'm going to fill it. And I think the opponent will. Indeed. Ugh, Crimson Cosmos is not really what we wanted to see. So this is going to be Aero plus Mysterio plus Lizard. 1602 Mr. Fantastic for sure, yeah. Waiting for Nullified Shang-Chi. I think I kept umming and ahhing about the Kim Jacinto Shang-Chi, and I didn't end up buying it, but I kept thinking about it. I do have Baby Shang-Chi, but I don't like that variant, so I don't use it. Is the Aero worthwhile here? I think the Aero might be worthwhile here. We do it like this. Copium deck? I mean, there's only one way to find out. And also, I'm mostly here because I want to enjoy myself. I could just play Thanos like everybody else, but I would rather not do that until I feel like I have to. After all, that's what we did last season. Opponent does indeed fill up in the middle. We'll shift over the things that we can shift over. It's going to be a little dodgy. Nice. Real Mysterio coming in clutch. And we're all good. Tips hats. Oh, getting all British in the chat now. How are we doing, Sempre you? Hopefully you're having a lovely day. I can try and tip this hat, but it doesn't really... You can't really tip a snapback. It's not the same. And I'm not going to take it off my head right now to like tip it like full dance away because I have headphones on and that would be terrible. Let's hold this Nova for a moment. Oh, Thanos count continues to climb. Don't really like the Baby Shang-Chi. Yeah, it's just not one that I'm personally a fan of. I think it's fine if you enjoy it, that's cool. But like, I like the Kim Jacinto one, and I think it's the only one that I do like. And I don't really want to spend 1,200 gold on that one. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. Any replacement for Mysterio? I actually think he's really hard to replace for this deck just because of the synergies with, with Bishop. If you're looking for something, I would suggest looking for more 2-cost stats is probably the best thing I could offer you. You just want a 2-cost card that costs 1 on your Sarah turns that is worth a lot of points. So I would mostly suggest those. Oggy, the big one honestly right now is armor. There are a few other things, of course. There are still the odd Iron Man here and there. There's the odd Blue Marvel out of Thanos. You know, there's, as you say, Devil Dinosaurs. But removing armor so that you can Shang-Chi and can Killmonger is just very, very relevant. These locations absolutely suck, by the way. I think I'm taking the pass. Unironically taking the pass. But you know what's going to happen. We're about to eat a fat leech. Mojo's okay. Yeah, Mojo seems like a reasonable suggestion. That is, in fact, 2-cost stats. I'm inclined to agree. Yeah, very ready to get leeched. But at least on the bright side, if we do get leeched... yeah, well... That's only ever leech. Literally only ever leech. And I don't have Killmonger in my hand. Okay, so I'm very aware this is a leech. I'm going to get leeched and try and draw my Killmonger. Yep. We draw an Enchantress instead. Alright, Killmonger or bust. For sure, Luke, makes sense. I'm the wrong person to ask about where characters come from, unfortunately. I wish I could tell you. I do not know. Alright, so we can Enchantress into Mysterio. The question is, which lane do we want to pick the fight over? I mean, yeah, Dan Hit Bleach is great, but the card is definitely the most hated card in the game right now. Which lane do we pick the fight on? Is the fight worth 4 cubes? No, it isn't. This game isn't always lost, but I think it's a bit too risky to be gambling 4 cubes on this Mysterio. Again, the Killmonger there is a very good draw. It gives us the ability to get into that game, so I think it's fine to stick around and stay through the snap. But we did not find it, so we'll leave. For what it's worth, I think if you choose to pick that fight, you're supposed to pick it left. And anything mid makes you lose, and even Blue Marvel left makes you lose. So, like, I think you're supposed to pick it left. But I think it's also just incorrect to pick the fight. Lost our Shang-Chi. Hope we didn't need that. Somebody asked a minute ago about Maximus in the Polaris slot. My answer to that is probably yes. I do think Polaris is the better card right now, just because of how the metagame looks, and again, moving armor around. Moving armor from where it is to somewhere else, moving stuff in the way of Galactus, makes Polaris the better card all around. But Maximus works. The priority is stats. The priority with this card in this slot is always stats. So I don't hate the Maximus. Oh, Luke, sorry to hear that. Shuri's Lab is probably not good for me, given I lost my Shang-Chi. Thank you, Sokovia. Appreciate you. Oh, let's turn the armor off, I guess. Everything else in our hand is much cheaper. Opponent will Jubilee. Okay. Into a Vision. Interesting. Hand currently not doing very much. I think I'm priced into just spending my energy this turn. And trying to steal a win with Arrow. Opponent arrowed me. Jeez, that's a bit rough. Finally complete original pool 3. Very nice. Congratulations. Opponent moves the Vision. We just, like, absolutely get dumpstered, right? I guess the best thing we can do is this. And we try and get there on breakers. We do not get there on breakers. Unfortunate. Magneto there is pretty good for our opponent. Best stuff for Polaris? Almost certainly Maximus, I think. Almost certainly Maximus. Couple rough games in a row here, but that's okay. We had a couple good ones in a row too, so has to go both ways. I don't believe you, says my opponent. I believe me. I'm right here. Oh, look, another Quinjet. I really should start keeping track. Like, unironically, should just get a spreadsheet up or something and see what percentage of our games right now are versus Shuri or Thanos. Because it's got to be like at least 75%, if not more. It's pretty horrible. Kind of don't want to pull the Quinjet into Nidavellir. Kind of do, because it wins me the Vault more, and if we're just trading up on bodies, mine is bigger. So I think we do this. If you started this season at 50, do you have to hit 60 before you start seeing the change they did this month to the ranking system? Yes, you do. No worries, Anders. I believe in me too. Again, I'm not in any way worried about this season. If I want to make Infinite, I'll do it quite easily. It's just whether or not I can be bothered. Or whether or not I want to play the cards that let me do it. Might be a Tempo Enchantress. Might be a Tempo Enchantress. Wish I'd saved it now. Only one of them was not... Oh, wow, you were 10 and 1. That is a startling percentage of games. But yeah, I mean, that's what it's felt like, right? The higher ranks of the ladder right now just feel like they are the most polarized thing you've ever seen. Gonna hold fire having drawn the Killmonger. Gonna try and get my opponent to snap. But our hand is quite good here now. Also holding fire because I'm terrified of Leech, of course, but, you know. So sadly, we cannot get Shang into the vault. So we go... Killmonger Arrow here, right? Think that's what we do. F. That's actually fine, right? That changes nothing. Yeah, changes actually literally nothing. We're all good. Probably should have snapped there. Again, lack of confidence in these spots. I need to get more confident in snapping and picking up my 4 cubes in spots where we aren't losing to stuff like this. If you can hit 80 again, you'll be proud of yourself. Honestly, guys, like, set your own bar. Like, set your own, exactly like that, right? If you want 80, if 80 is the goal, good luck with it. If I can help, you know I certainly will. Good luck out there. Say well, you are more than your results, as I always say, right? Gonna hold the Nova again. Enchantress costing 5 is a bit rubbish. Fair enough, Raymond. Yeah, I guess honestly the gold X-Men card back, which I genuinely want to, and the 50 cube per level thing is like why I'm the opposite of worried. Like, I'll climb whenever I can be actively bothered. For now, I'd rather just play decks I enjoy to try and break through the monotony of Thanos Shuri being all over the place. And I'll climb later. It's fine. I think I'm taking the pass here again, honestly. Fair enough, Matty. You've got all the time in the world, so I wouldn't panic. Take your time. Enjoy the ride, as they say. Okay, we'll start stacking up an Angela in the middle here. Work towards this Sarah. Yeah, Brandon, I've kind of said this to a few people now. Like, if Snap wasn't literally my job, there's definitely a chance I would be streaming less right now, just because I don't think I can do this every day. Like, the ladder at the moment is cripplingly stalling. So also, we know this is a bot because of the Daredevil split, so I'm going to snap back and assume that I don't completely balls this up at some point over the course of the game. And like, if I lose 8 cubes to a bot because I didn't expect something to happen, F me, I guess. But with it being a bot, I'll take my chances. And I'll try and just score the quick 8 cubes. You're going full Thanos BS out of the gate. I can't say I blame you. Makes a lot of sense that a lot of people are doing exactly that. I can't say I'm at all shocked in any way that people are doing exactly that. Bot straight donating power? Literally donating power. So we just go Scarlet Witch, Mysterio, Lizard, Shang-Chi, I guess. Yeah, I think it's, like, honestly, less than, I think it's arguably more than a majority, honestly. The amount of people playing with Shang-Chi and Thanos right now is just otherworldly difficulty high. It's like, it's a silly amount. Like, it's just, I imagine if you remove all the bots that you bump into along the way, like the one that we just played against just now, the number is probably even higher with the amount of people that are playing the deck on the ladder right now. Like, they are just everywhere. I think Brandon was saying it was like a 10 out of 11 games. I want to say mine's not quite that high, but it probably is like 8 out of 10 or like 7 out of 10 games. It's exhausting. But again, I can't blame people. Those decks feel like they're miles better than anything else you can be doing. So, go off, you know? Do what you got to do. Get your cubes. Ooh. Morbius is a nice change of pace. We've got some Modok on the other side of the table. We'll set ourselves up with a Bishop for a bit of fun here. Yeah, exactly. Weird. In a TCG, you play the best cards that you have access to and play the best deck. Like, truly shocking, I know. Fair enough, Brandon. I guess we'll see. A little unlucky there to have Lady Sif turn up, give my opponent some extra cards. But I suppose they were getting extra cards from the helicarrier anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. Probably snapping here on 6, depending on what my opponent does. They do indeed fire the Modok. Love this Mystique variant. It is really gorgeous. I wish I'd had the spare money knocking around to purchase it, but I did not. So I didn't. Alright. Shang-Chi would have been nice. Instead, we have to put up a real Scrabble on a second lane. And I think the best way we can do that is go dink, dink. This creates a Mysterio. Is the Nova stats worth more than the Lizard? Yes. Yes, it is. You say for it specifically? Yeah, can't say I blame you. Makes a whole lot of sense to do exactly that. Clear out this Morbius with the Enchantress. True, true. If we'd played the Lizard, we definitely played it before the Enchantress. That is 100% a good spot. We didn't end up playing the Lizard, so it doesn't end up mattering, but you are 100% correct. That's the thing that we should keep our eyes open for. Thankfully, we're A-OK. Enchantress doing as Enchantress does. Taking away one of them Morbiuses. Very, very nice. How we doing, folks? If you are popping your head in the door for the first time tonight and you're hanging out, having a chill time, enjoying the show, please do feel free to let me know that by liking the stream. Just go and drop us a thumbs up down below the stream. Doesn't cost you a penny, and it really does help us here at Marvel Snap Zone, so please consider taking just a moment to do that for me. Just have a nice relaxing time, jamming some games for Sarah Control. Do in fact enjoy this archetype quite a lot. Quantum Tunnel. That's probably not very good for me. I guess I can throw my Nova into it and get something for free. Spider, that's not a synergy I was aware of, but I suppose that makes a lot of sense. Oh, well. Opponent got to Polaris shoot our Mysterio anyway, so that kind of sucks. Oh, we redrew the Nova. Value. They're all three, even the real one. That makes some sense, to be honest. I'd have to read the card text exactly to be sure, but that doesn't sound too egregious. It's my favourite EDH deck. A weird one, actually. The EDH deck I enjoy playing the most when I've played EDH is Marchesa the Black Rose. Oh, Rayman, it's okay. Like, I like to... It's a weird balance, right? Because people don't understand that it really does help. Like, it goes a very, very long way. Being able to like the video, it really supports what we do. But I don't want to remind people like every 17 minutes. So it's like I try and pop it in like once an hour or like, you know, periodically just to let people know. Wow, that's kind of annoying. I think that tends to keep it a little more fair and balanced. Well, this is going to be quite interesting, huh? Chat, if this is wrong, I don't want to be right. I'm willing to lose my cubes. No, 3 energy for 9 power is certainly nothing to turn your nose up at, for sure. For sure. Well, this was indeed wrong, and I don't get to be right. Thank you for the brand new subscriber. Appreciate you. Welcome on in. Yeah, Grixis Marchaser is pretty great. I agree. Opponent just randomly generates a red skull. What a joke. Yep. I mean, as I say, unfortunate, but arrow gonna arrow. We do not get to be right this time. Yeah, I jam on the table. I jam games on the table all the time. As and when I can. Rough one. Really comes down to what gets pulled off the quantum tunnel. Which is fine. Have to lose the quantum tunnel flip and lose the arrow flip, which is, again, alright. I certainly don't mind losing those games. I don't get to be right, I get to be mid. Like, that is such a good way of putting that. Nope, you don't get to be right, you get to be in the middle. Oh, Altar of Death is going to be interesting for this Nova very shortly. Kind of want to keep the Lizard out of Nidavellir again, if possible. Yeah, there are a few things that that we can win that game. We definitely play that game out. Armor mid, sure. Means that the Ant-Man is getting Killmongered at some point in this game, which I'm happy about. Eternity range, sure. Ooh, smash. Hassan, thank you very much for the brand new sub, my friend. I appreciate you. Welcome on in to Marble Snap Zone. Hopefully you're having a lovely day. My opponent has gained a rock. There are many like them, but this rock is ours. Think we Enchantress mid now to shut off these effects, I believe. Tempting to snap here. Might snap here. This might be a little bit greedy. But I think I'm okay with this snap. Opponent will Daredevil. Wants all that sweet, sweet information. Oh! Interesting, the Enchantress still dies there. I didn't know that's how that worked, but I guess that makes some sense. I don't regret it, I'd have done it anyway, but that is cool to know. Because now I have 2 bonus energy. And now I get even more bonus energy by killing another Mysterio. Yeah, it does in fact kill the Enchantress. Which, again, I'm okay with. I'd have done it anyway. But I didn't know that, and now I do. Miss the old days where all you had to worry about was whether your opponent was dropping the Spectrum or Destroyer. How times have changed. How times have changed. Opponent will Professor X us here. Which is a bit unfortunate. Definitely wish we put the real Mysterio under there now, but that's okay. I guess we have the benefit of having the real Mysterio on the side instead. So we can go Scarlet Witch. Shang-Chi Nova Killmonger is the best we can do. Dump our hand on the table. Opponent agrees that they are toasted and they will retreat. I accept. Very nice. Very, very nice. Gonna take maybe 20 minutes more of this one. Then I'll switch off onto something else. Not sure exactly what else just yet, but I will switch up the deck. Sunspot making its way downtown. Walking fast. Faces pass. Okay. So I think we're going to Angela off in Nidavellir, but I think there's a good chance we Polaris the Sunspot into the middle. Depending on where and what we see. Ooh, fruity. Well, now I think... What energy drink is this? It's an Iron Brew energy drink. The national drink of Scotland. If you'd like to see the can, you certainly can. Make Sarah Surfer viable again. Weirdly enough, I do have a Sarah Surfer list built. It's a very heavily teched anti-meta Sarah Surfer deck, but I do have one built. Hey Ed, how we doing? Some Dino Hawk? Maybe. Not a massive fan of Darkhawk overall, just like play pattern wise, but maybe. I've been meaning to screw around with like Darkhawk negative again, but I'm not sure it's quite got enough punch. We have our Enchantress here, which is very nice. Oh, Luke, I'm sorry. That is unfortunate. Okay, I think we snap. If we get Cosmoed, I'll be sad. Yeah, Iron Brew is always orange. Always, always orange. They haven't done an energy drink for very long, but I actually have a good friend of mine who works for Iron Brew, so every now and then they hook me up with some free stuff. And if they hook me up with free stuff, I tend to just drink the stuff. It doesn't really matter what it is. Like, I'm just gonna drink it. And we find ourselves with a Scarlet Witch for good measure. Okay. Which case, I think we're just doing... this, I guess. Excited to see the Surfer deck. It's your favourite type of deck. But I also miss Surfer quite a lot. I can see myself playing a bit of Surfer in a bit. It is another Sarah deck, which of course I'm just going to enjoy however you cut the mustard. But I do miss Surfer quite a lot myself. Was also a big fan. Whoa! Did not expect to get Iron Manned. Thankfully, it might not matter. We're all Gucci. Does not matter. Been a while since I saw Lockjaw negative Dino shenanigans. Been a while. Definitely think this deck can climb, which is reassuring. It's been a bit slow, obviously, and we're taking it quite steady. I've been a bit sheepish on my snaps, but the progress is pretty clearly happening. The climb with this deck seems like it could definitely be done, which is reassuring. It means I can probably do most of the climb this season with something that I actually enjoy, which is, you know, a hell of a lot better than doing it with something that you hate. So let's get the Angela on the go. Wondering if I should play Gold Angela in this deck because I have Gold Bishop in this deck, or whether the Inkify one is just better. The real important questions. Opponent on some Thanos-y goodness. Let's pull a stone away. I'm Goodwill at best. Wow. Okay, well, we just get Lamentist. Oof. You know, if people like to win, but you're so bored of Rammed Leech. Yep, think we all are, honestly, 7bank. I sympathise with you. I have exactly the same feelings towards the situation. It's a lot. 9 cards away from Series 3 complete. Should you try and hurry it up or finish it, or save reserves for Variant Rush? I don't see any reason to hurry, personally. For any reason. Unless it's just a personal thing of you want more cards now, please hurry. Which, of course, is a different story. What's the Variant Rush? It's a, you know the winter one we had with all the Christmas variants for Ebony Maw, Patriot, and Rockslide and stuff? We've got another one of those coming that's steampunk themed this month. Just showed up, you do like the look of this deck? Well, hopefully you like it enough to give it a go. I like Zero Control. It's one of my favourite ways to play Snap. Like, it's just something I very much enjoy. The question, of course, is, you know, is it good enough? Answer is, don't know. But it feels pretty steady so far. So. And steady is the important thing. Steady as she goes. Yeah, it feels like it could be a good choice for you if you don't mind a consistent climb. Like, if you're not trying to do it fast, then go ahead. Not really CPA, no, because you're still going to get the same amount of pull 3 cards if you wait. It's not like you're getting more reserves by cracking them now. You can just wait if you really want to. It doesn't make the process of getting pull 3 cards any faster. Does that make sense? Like, you're still going to get the same number of rewards, same number of stuff. You just won't get them right now. You're just going to get them later this month. Yeah, I think for a lot of people, saving for the big bads that are always going to be Series 5 is very tempting. And something I can see a lot of folks continuing to do. Crushes your old man soul. That song's quite old now. I guess I'm quite old too then, huh? I actually love asking this question. It's one of my favourite things to screw with people. Chat, if you want to cheat, you can. I can't stop you from cheating with this one. But if you already know how old I am, I would suggest not chiming in. If you don't know how old I am, how old do you think I am? Elliot, I would definitely suggest Thanos myself personally, but again, I am just a man on the internet. So my opinion is worth however much you would like it to be worth. If you get a variant, doesn't that mean that you won't get something else? I believe contents are assigned on them being earned, not upon being opened. So if you were going to open a variant, you're still going to open a variant. You just have a chance to open one of the nicer ones. 35, 28, 28, 40, 42. Whew, I've not had 42 before. Jeez. Whew. 12. People think I'm Gen 12. Good lord. 22. I'm doing pretty good, thank you, Calamari. How are you? 31? 41? Oh, people overshooting me. Doing me dirty. 33. I can accept 33. 33 makes some sense. I think I have to Scarlet Witch this turn to be able to Serra. You think we're the same age? I mean, that would make some sense based on music taste. I can definitely see that. Hard to say with the beard exactly, yeah. The beard kind of convolutes things a little bit. I am 28. I am 28. Spider, you can understand why I would be upset someone thinks I'm 42 when I'm actually 28. all good, Matt. Like, I'm not actually offended, don't worry. Like, I wouldn't have asked if I was going to be offended. I just always get such a variety of answers, obviously, because the beard and everything really makes me look older than I am. So I always like to ask people because it really kind of throws everybody off all over the space. Only Leech beats Leech? I mean, Patriot beats Leech. You feel old in this chat? I'm sorry, John. I'm really sorry. I try and make you feel younger when I can. I still act 28 but my body gets mad at me? Oh, I can relate to that. I can certainly relate to that. We've got Angela and a fake Mysterio under here. So what if we do this? Magic threw you off? I can believe that. Yeah, to be fair, I've been playing Magic for over half my life. Literally over half my life. I've been playing Magic for 14 years. So it makes a lot of sense. Should have clued into the newer LP logo. I mean, it's just a newer hat, right? It's not really anything else. Nice. To be fair, without my beard, I also look like I'm about 17. So, reasonable.
Victory.
Yeah, there's people from a wide variety of life playing Marvel Snap, which is actually one of the best parts of it. I find that so cool, so magical, so interesting. Just that a game like this can attract such a wide variety of people from different walks of life who enjoy different things with different knowledge pools. And there's so few things in the world that are capable of doing that. It makes games something truly magical. It's something I really appreciate about the industry. Ooh, free shocker, which I think is better than playing the Mysterio here, so we will do that. Opponent also has a shocker. Theirs looks a bit better than ours. Electro Sandman rant from the last tier list. It still does okay. Yes, I agree that it should do okay against just about everybody except for the top two. A large part of the reason why that deck isn't a top tier deck is because it can't really hang with the top two. Which is kind of the issue. Fine to Polaris here. You appreciate Snap with your boomer reflexes? Me too. I can't play games that make me go fast. My reaction speed is terrible. Knowledge ball is -1. Oh no. You're Vietnamese, so I looked 17 till I was 30. Now you get told I get to look like I'm 25 until I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I started at 70 crawl, but to be fair, we spent like all of yesterday playing some new Nimrod decks, and it didn't go great. This Atuma means that I don't get to play Mysterio this game. Is that alright? That might be okay. That might be okay. Played on many Magic Pro Tours, played since '94. Yes, so I was playing since Torment. From that I remember anyway. I remember going to a Torment pre-release. I've been playing for a long time too. Yeah, I hit Infinite last season pretty comfortably. And then just kind of took it from there. Opponent snapped. I have reveal priority here. Kind of want to snap back. This might be a bit aggressive. Honestly, Joe, I can't say I blame you. Hearing that problem quite a lot. Again, guys, don't look at your rank as, you know, as a result, really. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. It is very much a case of, you know, how do I put this? You don't have to compare yourself to other people to know how good you are at a game. Random suggestion for the site? Feel free. Go ahead. Always love to hear suggestions for Snap Zone. I think this actually might be Shang-Chi Mysterio. Is that wild? That might be kind of wild. Let's go. 8-cube game. Opponent had the Ultron. Jeez.
Thank you.
That's a horrible one to lose. Thank you for the brand new subscriber, Moonski. Appreciate you. Welcome on in. That's a nasty game to lose, that one. Thought we were good there with the Enchantress. The Ultron is in fact good enough on the right-hand side. Kind of had to have it go just about anywhere else. That's fair, Joe. I'm sure I'll want it to slow down before I know it. Yeah, I'm afraid, Phil, it really doesn't matter which Sarah deck you play. Leech is going to be a horrible time for you. Just naturally by what the deck is designed to do. I think I'm fine playing Angela into Atlantis here. Have a list of decks to play if, say, you are in the different ranks. We basically already do, Drow Gamer. You can go check out a targeted metagame on the Tracker website. It's embedded on Snapzone, or you can go find it at marvelsnap.pro. You can set the rank that you're currently in, and it will give you the decks that are currently performing the best with the highest win rates. And so on and so forth. So you can go take a look at what's performing best at your collection level with your current rank, which is pretty great. Highly recommend. This is 96 with alliances. You are a bit before me then, in which case, Anders. But I don't know if you're the oldest in here. You might be. Think this is just going to be Tempo Scarlet Witch. I don't really have an awful lot else going on. Patriot decks help against Leech. Yes and no. Sometimes yes if you get the Patriot down early. Sometimes no if you hold the Patriot too long. It's kind of a very mixed one. Phil's 49. Do we have anyone beating 49? 49 is our current record for age in the chat. I think this is also going to be a Shang-Chi some amount of the time. Yeah, I feel like playing around armor here is probably for the best. You more just want higher rank for the rewards? Yeah, makes sense. Finding Shang-Chi us back makes a lot of sense too. I'm sorry to see that, D-Way, but again, you can improve with time. All it takes is time and dedication. If you can give yourself a little bit of both of those, you'll be A-okay. Opponent with the death on the right, huh? Well, that makes this fairly easy. We just go 4, 5, 6. Gonna snap. We have a winner. We might have a winner, maybe. Donk is 49 as well. We got a couple of 49. This is a Doctor Doom, is it not? No, it's a null. Well, we don't care about a null. That's fine. Couple of 49. Victory. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us, folks. I'm glad you're hanging out tonight. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people having positive responses to the climbing checkpoints this season. Hopefully that remains the case. A bit before Ice Age, then bailed around Homelands. It's not that long then, right? 36? It was a few years. It's been a while. Can't remember exactly how long that is. Happily break these rocks here. Okay, last game with this deck, then I am going to switch up as promised. And get myself onto a little something else. Little something else. What I might actually do to make it a bit easier, I might... so your climbing checkpoints are now every 10 levels. You'll get a 5-level boost. I might throw up a poll of decks that we could play. Let you guys vote on which one you want me to play. and then take one more game with this while that poll happens. I'm going to remove the Wakanda here. That might be a bit smoother. So yeah, okay. So yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to sort out a poll. I'm going to show you some decks after this game. Put a poll up so you can vote in the poll. And then I will play one more game with this, and then we'll start playing the thing that wins the poll. Homelands was very bad. 100%. I'm going to move the armor around here, ideally. Get it out of Nidavellir. Always fear Zola there. I mean, we had priority, right? Don't have to fear Zola when we just have the ability to deal with it. Play Thanos? I would rather not, and I imagine it probably won't win the poll. It should be, Phil. I believe they're active right now. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think they'll ever add more emotes to the game? Yeah, probably. I think they'll probably start monetizing those eventually. So let's take the armor away so that we have access to Shang-Chi. Won a PT queue for Magic, but didn't go to the PT in Japan. That's a shame. That PT was incredible. I agree that it is hard to keep up. I'm not an active Magic player these days, sadly. I now prioritize the Flesh and Blood TCG in my spare time because I enjoy the game a lot more. But I have a lot of core memories that without Magic I simply don't have. It's very clear to me, at least, that I am who I am today because of games like Magic the Gathering. So they will always have a place in my heart for that reason. Hey Shade, you're not too late, my friend. Welcome in. How you doing? Hopefully all is well. I believe J. Jonah Jameson will give you some very rude emotes, from what I understand. So this is not turned off, so we can just put 12 power mid here, which is kind of hot. Don't hate that. And I guess we just try and win every lane. The arrow is going to be a bit of a problem here sometimes. So not going to snap, but... Yep. That is unfortunately going to happen on occasion. Yeah, Brandon, for sure. It's definitely my home these days. D-Way, yeah, I think you might be right. We actually get there on break. Did we get there on breakers on that? Wild. I thought Aero lost us that game, actually, from the math I did. I guess my math was off. Okay, so, as promised, I will show you the options, chat. We have a few things that I could choose to play, and I'll put them into a poll for you. So the first one, we can play this anti-meta Serra Surfer list. This is built to utilize Goose and Aero in a Serra shell like before, alongside Cosmo and Killmonger, all that kind of wonderful nonsense, with a Surfer package to allow us to accelerate the amount of stats we are able to deploy. So we could go with this one. So this is going to be the poll. Which deck next? We're going to have Serra Surfer. We could play this one next. Our other options are going to be, I think you dropped this. This is Give 'em Crap. It's my current version of Give 'em Crap, where we're just going to try and dump stuff onto our opponent's board with your kind of cards like Debris, Viper, Green Goblin, all that kind of wonderful nonsense. Again, Shang-Chi, Arrow, just kind of everywhere with this stuff. The Goose variant is lovely, I agree. Big fan. So we can go with this one and try and start punking our opponent's stuff with some Give 'em Crap. Or the other deck I'm willing to play right now is going to be the deck I kind of had on YouTube the other day. I just want to play Doom, the Doom Wave mid-range deck, which is looking to utilize the power of Doctor Doom alongside Wave and She-Hulk, alongside just good on-rate cards, location denial, ways to re-trigger Doctor Doom, all that kind of wonderful nonsense. So those are our three options. The poll is now going up and live for you. If you have a preference on which deck we play next, get your votes in. get voting in the poll. I will close the poll at the end of this game. So you've got a whole game to let me know what you want to see next. Go get your votes in for me. And I'll play the winner next after this game. Go and let me know. We'll hold the Nova. Love a good chunk deck. I think a lot of people do. Close right now between Doomwave and Give 'em Crap. We got some competition going on between those two. Again, you got a strong preference. Go get those votes in. I think we are holding the cheap ones for now. Midrange? Midrange is a card game term for a deck that is capable of being the aggressor and playing to the board early when it needs to, but it is also capable of being the defensive deck if it needs to go bigger and try and go over the top of other people. I don't want to move either of these, and so we're not going to take the chance on doing that. We're just gonna Polaris over here. Fairly sure this is a bot based on the Human Torch being gold with no effect. So we are just going to see if we can convince the bot to snap. Then if we convince the bot to snap, we will snap back and move on with our lives, hopefully. So let's Scarlet Witch away this Nidavellir. Say, folks, get those votes in if you do have a preference, because you've got till the end of this game to let me know. The old Hulkbuster with no target, my favourite. This world is doomed, something like that. We actually managed to spin our Angela into a Clintar. It's a bot game, I know it's a bot game, don't worry. We will snap back, and we should be okay this game to do that, I believe. All we gotta do I feel like a tempo value theory does not apply very well to snap since it's always 6 turns. For sure, I could definitely see that approach too. 100%. Do bots snap on 6? Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. So I actually fucked this up, right? Because I was supposed to hold the Nova. Hold the Nova so I can go Aero Nova and make sure that we're guaranteed to win. It was a bit silly on my part. Now I have to do this and hope that we don't get folded. It does feel like there are more bots right now. Thank you for the brand new sub, Guyver. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Does feel like there are more bots this season. What makes me so sure? So, if you'd like, Phil, I actually have a whole video on the channel that's about 25 minutes in length, talking about how we can identify bots, what their names are, what cards they can use, how, you know, all that kind of wonderful nonsense. But the big one to check really easily in game, if you ever want to know, you can look at a card like this, and it's a card that a player cannot get. Because we can't have a gold background without having access to a particle effect on the card as well. We have to have a particle on a gold card. So this player has a gold card with no particle effect, so we know it's not a real player. But there are a lot of ways of telling. Alright. Let's close this poll. So we are playing some Doomwave. We are playing some Doomwave midrange. That's what we're doing. Alright. That I can do. Let's grab a nice little screenshot of this for the bottom corner before we hop back onto the ladder. I'll take this small window, folks, to remind you, you can support the stream by doing nothing of consequence. It doesn't cost you any money. All you got to do is scroll down, like the stream for me, become a subscriber of the channel if you like. It all goes a very, very long way in helping us out. Cool, cool, cool. We're ready to go. Time for some Doom. Let's Doom some people. It's over here. Let's go. Yeah, feel free to check that video out. It actually took me a very, very long time to make, so I try and direct people there where I can. But there are a lot of ways of telling, if you want to be sure. Yes, you can also have it the other way around. They can have a particle effect with no background, which of course is the same problem. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. Welcome on into the channel. Glad you're enjoying yourself. Nice slow start for us here. Opponent is on Thanos. I'm right in thinking the opponent is currently using the infinite card back, right? Quicksilver or Electra on one tend to be pretty common ways, yeah. Do I think Thanos was wrong? Complex question. Juggernaut is definitely tempting in this deck for the most part, Daniel, but I tend to try and find myself wanting to let my opponent play into the stormed zone instead of taking them out of it. The reason for that is because between Jessica Jones, Doom, and Odin, it's very easy for you to often get more power into it after you've locked it off, which means I would rather my opponent's cards be stuck in that location than somewhere else. Hopefully that makes some amount of sense. No wave here, unfortunately. I'm starting to feel like this deck might want Killmonger at the moment, but it means we have to give up Sunspot. Killmonger is definitely a bit good, to say the least.
Wind, aid my hand.
Okay, well the wave here is a damn good draw. It might even be snap worthy. Let's go for it. Oh man, thank you very much. I can't tell you how much that means to me. Oh, the leech here kind of sucks. Leech gonna make us sad. But I'm not actually sure the leech beats us here necessarily. Because the Sunspot should carry us, right? This loses to Thanos. If they skip and add 6 middle, this should win. No, that's one short as well. Yeah, I'm mostly here for the people. Like, that's what it's about. This is correct though, right? Like, I'm here to make the community a better place. That's what I'm going to try and do anyway. Magnet Man is super annoying here. Yeah, that's fair. We beat a lot of things in this spot. We beat the Thanos. We beat basically any other non-6 drop card. So I'm fine to play this out through the leech. And unfortunately, the Magneto will move all our stuff around and make us look a bit silly. Yeah, like I got into content to make games better for people. Like, I've talked about this for a long time, and you guys are going to see more of it very soon, actually. But I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because a lot of people just won't care. I might get a bit emotional, but I've been in the gaming space and the TCG space for half my life because I'm not here today without it. And to me, creating spaces, creating environments where people feel like they belong, people feel like they can be themselves without people laughing at them. They're welcome to ask questions. They can come and get involved in games and escape from the real world for a bit. That is what I want to do with the rest of my life because I want to pay it forward. Those places deserve to exist. People deserve to have environments where they feel welcome. And that's what I want this stream to be. That's what I want Marvel Snap Zone to be. That's why I spend so much time working as hard as I do on the content that we make. Jessica Jones is a little bit awkward here. Big hugs indeed. Oh, I've played both. I've played both Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. I used to work for my local game store. I've played just about every TCG on the planet, I imagine. There's probably not very many that I haven't. I think I prefer the Polaris here. This is kind of close, though. Just the way it should be. Just the way it should be. Storm is a little bit late for us here. No She-Hulk this game is kind of sad. Wave Doom Odin was definitely a line for sure. For sure. I think I'm actually going to go for the Aero here, though, assuming my opponent Red Skulls.
Thank you.
Couple brand new subs coming in. Anders and Dewey, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Welcome on into the channel. Happy to help, Anders. That's what it's all about.
That one's on me.
Opponent snapped.
For sure, Luke. Yeah, I'm just here to be straight with people. Or at least try to. Well, thank you, Max. That means a lot. I think we're out here, sadly. Not quite coming together. I think I would have preferred to make myself go for the Wave Doom Odin line. The problem with that, of course, is that I enable the Red Skull a turn early. Yeah, I am just unapologetically myself. So if you enjoy my atmosphere, you enjoy me as a creator, then you're going to have a great time here, because I'm not hiding it. Alright. Didn't Doom win? Doom doesn't beat the Taskmaster there, no. Unless my math is wrong, because Doom doesn't win left. Doom only adds 10 left. 12 left, sorry. If my math is wrong, feel free to correct me, because it could be. Yeah, the one card is just Taskmaster though, right? So we can't beat the Taskmaster. Kind of want to Storm here, but it relies on us drawing either Jessica Jones or Doom. Oh, opponent's out here, never mind.
Victory.
Never mind. We were still set up for Wave She-Hulk plus X on turn 6, so... Hand was pretty good, we just didn't ever get to see it play out. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, full of gunk. Full of gunk. Nidavelli. It's almost like it's featured or something. We do find ourselves with a lovely little bit of Wave Odin She-Hulk again. Hello, Stephen. How we doing? Hopefully all is well with you, my friend. You can tell how ill I've been recently based on the fact there are still tissues on my desk. Opponent with the armor. No cards being revealed this turn. Kind of fries the plan of storming away the X-Mansion. Well, well, well. What's up, Darvin? How are you, my friend? So, this also fizzles the wave, unfortunately, which is kind of sad. As a result, I think I'm supposed to storm over in Lemuria. Now, Nidavelli is a completely fine featured location. I wouldn't mind it turning up basically every game. Hey, Mr. Fantastic there is a pretty reasonable hit. All as well as can be, all we could ask for. Opponent hits a Doom, though, which is slightly better. Doom is, in fact, slightly better. Alright. Gonna save the wave for turn 5 here, I think. Opponent goes Cosmo on the left. Sure. Lamentis was the worst. Lamentis is not a great location to feature, I don't think. No, it just kind of actively punished people for not having access to death, which was an unpleasant situation. So,
He really grows on you, doesn't he?
Hayden, thank you very much for the brand new subscription. I appreciate you. Welcome on in to Marvel Snaps there. I kind of want to aero. Do I do voiceover work too? I've done a little bit. I've done some voice acting. I've done some commentary. I've done a number of bits and pieces that require my voice. I've done some ASMR. I've done some like narrative book reading. A lot of people like the British accent, which is kind of very cool. And I like to read stuff for people, because if people like how I sound, deal. You know, I will happily help you with that. So I can pull Lizard away with Polaris here, and play my own Lizard to add +10. I think this is the cheekiest thing I can do, right? It's just this. I have a calming voice. That's reassuring. That's kind of what I want, I think, in life. Like, I think people need individuals to tell them it's going to be okay. This was quite a lot more stats than I was expecting from my opponent. Now I am sad. Glad that we didn't snap there, to be honest. Kinda wish we just slammed the She-Hulk. But that's okay. Bit of a rough start for this one, to be honest. The draws haven't massively lined up. Which is fine. That's going to happen sometimes. Elegant, formal. Yeah, I've heard it called that. They do vary quite a lot depending on where people are from in the UK, that's correct. But I was originally born in the south, just north of London. So I have the traditional Queen's English. I can enunciate my H's if you would like me to. Not that I always do, because I live in the north now, which means I've picked up a bit more slang and a bit more loosey-goosey word work, because I live up in this area. Oh yeah, I assure you, not all of the UK are posh, I promise. But yeah, I've said it before on the stream, I would love to do more Marvel Snap tournaments and coverage and stuff. That would be lovely. I would love to get involved with more of that if people enjoy listening to me talk. Actually, Bedfordshire, Phil, originally. I don't mind saying that because I don't live there anymore, so... Don't think you've ever been called elegant coming from Birmingham. No, in fairness, I probably wouldn't call you elegant coming from Birmingham either. Not known for its dialect. Well, I guess it is known for its dialect, Birmingham, but not for the right reasons. Whereabouts in the north? So I live in Lancashire now. I'm hesitant to go a little further. Blackpool. I live in Blackpool now. But I'm probably not going to dial it in any further than that because I'll get myself doxxed or something. Queen's English means you speak in nothing but lyrics from the band's songs. That's totally how that works, yeah. Death's Domain, not really a great location for us here either, but we can get into it even further with Doctor Doom should we find it. We do have our wave, we do have our She-Hulk. Thanos obviously going to Thanos, doing what it does best. We'll see if we can keep up. Very, very easy for us to get leeched here, unfortunately. I think we're fine if we don't get leeched. We're in terrible shape if we do. Would I cast an official Snap tourney if they invited me to do it? Absolutely. I mean, I've said this on stream before. It's actually a really big dream of mine. You can quote it if you like. You can send it to Ben Brode in second. I don't mind. If they are looking for a commentator with some experience who's passionate about their game and wants to get involved in showing it to the world, then I would absolutely love to get involved in doing that. This rickety bridge is now kind of hilarious, right? Just everything dies horribly. We do get leeched though, which is less than fun. Being from outside the UK, what is the meaning of a posh accent? I think it's just somebody who doesn't typically speak in slang, tends to be very deliberate with their verbiage, sounds very proper, sounds upper class, I think is probably the way I would put it. Can confirm Scott's a great cast. That's very nice of you, Semper EU. I appreciate that quite a lot. I try. When I get the chance, I do try to not suck at casting at games. Where does this storm go, chat? If we draw the Doom, it doesn't really matter. If we don't draw the Doom, it probably does. I think I'm putting it here in Death's Domain. Me and Raven casting would be quite dench. You're not wrong. That would be reasonably dench. Yeah, I would like that a lot. I've had the pleasure of doing it for a number of card games in the past. I'm very passionate about it. I enjoy it quite a lot. I just hope a time comes where Second Dinner would like to take a chance on me and would like to let me be one of the faces of Snap, because that'd be a nice experience to have had. So here's hoping. Here's hoping. I guess this is going to be Polaris Wave to try and win 2 locations, right? Doesn't happen very often, but we'll try. Getting leeched as always makes it much harder to play the game. Doctor Doom here was kind of the best possible, but no Doom, no dice. Opponent moved the Space Stone in and has a 21 power Thanos. Sure. No big deal. Yeah, unfortunately, I think... How do I put this? I think the matchup for this deck into Thanos is quite hard, even though it's quite good in... Quite good against Shuri. So we're bumping into a few too many Infinity Stones here. Sure, we'll reach out when the time comes. I would love that. Hey, Chadinsky, how you doing? I want to do more casting. I'm actually very tempted to put a show reel back up online to take more opportunities. Because I would like that. Again, when the goal is to be informative and to make people feel welcome, and that's what I'm always here for, like, the ability to do that on a bigger stage would be even cooler. No good turn 2 here, sadly. What's up, Jacob? How you doing? I just got Wong to complete Series 3. Very nice. 34-19 is quite a climb to finish Series 3, but I'm happy for you. Congratulations. Polaris is a little awkward here. There's nowhere for it to really go particularly well. Think I'm just going to storm. Opponent, do you have the negative?
Wind, aid my hand.
You do. Opponent is already infinite this season. We can tell by the card back. Honestly, most matchups into Thanos are rough at the moment. Yeah, for sure. I think the deck I like the most at Thanos against Thanos is like Sarah Control. I think if you want to beat Thanos right now, the best thing you can do is just jam more like Killmongers in your deck. Samuel, thank you very much for the brand new subscription. I appreciate you. Welcome on in to Marble Snapzone. Pleasure to have you here today. Pull this Psylocke over for good measure. Opponent will Ironheart. I think this is looking pretty good now. We even find the wave. Alright, deal. Deal. Don't forget, after every series drop, the CL level to reach complete goes up. That is true, yeah. I hadn't really thought about that, but I guess there is now just significantly more cards in Series 3 than there was when I was Series 3 complete. Because Jacob took a whole 500 collector levels longer than me. Opponent is out of here. Wants no part or parcel of that disassembly. You love to see it. Oh, we have completed a mission. Nice. Very cool. What I think the best deck for early rank cubes is... Well, I mean, I don't think those decks are particularly different than most of the meta game. Like, Deathwave is a bit better early, Electro Ramp is a bit better early. It obviously depends on your card pool overall, Max, to be honest. But it's hard for me to recommend much that I wouldn't recommend to a bit, a more higher ranked player anyway. Gamma Lab here kind of blows. Probably going to storm here. Finished today at 33.70. What happens now? Now the wait begins, and you start getting cards once every 40 reserves. That's what happens now. Don't enjoy the wait too much. Yeah, I don't think I can let this be a Hulk, sadly. I think this just has to go. Opponent waves. Okay. Are we getting Galactus? Every card into Series 3 adds 48 CL. Good lord, that's horrible. We're going to need to draw this Doctor Doom, otherwise we're going to struggle to win this game, I think. Doom required. Pull 3 complete Bar Juggernaut. You just didn't play much last season. Sure. In that world, I think I probably recommend... if you're in the lower ranks, Deathwave is fine. Electro Ramp is fine. Lock Thor is fine. I think Lock Thor is a pretty reasonable decision. If you don't have access to... Thanos. That would kind of be my thought process. I think we have a Dino coming in a moment. What's the best thing for us to do against a Dino? I think it is probably this. Do I think Snap will ever introduce an arena type mode, like a draft mode, or like a Hearthstone style like draft mode, or were we thinking something else? Okay, well, I'm going to go for the Aero Iceman line. Opponent's out of here.
Victory.
Happy to help, Max. Thank you for asking. Yeah, every 4 boxes, which is 12 CL. Would love a draft mode? Me too, honestly. I would like a draft mode as well. Which is better, Galactus or Thanos? I'm going to use my normal command here just in case I need to cover myself. Obviously, I am just a single man on the internet. My opinion is only worth as much as you would like it to be worth. With all that being said, I personally think Thanos is not only the more powerful card, but the more flexible card overall. That you'll enjoy for a longer period of time if you're looking to save up for one of those 2 cards. So I would purchase it before I purchase Galactus, because I personally think Galactus is quite boring. Thank you for the Vormir, opponent. I appreciate you protecting my stuff. What's my opinion on Null? I think Null is a good role player in certain Galactus-style shells. It does some fun things in Mr. Negative decks, but otherwise I think the card often ends up being a bit win more and not strong enough to actually pull its weight by itself. Don't think I ever pull this armor away. It's tempting, but I don't think it's ever right. You want my opinion to be worth 5 grand, then you'll steal it and sell it. Quite frankly, if my opinion was worth 5 grand, I probably wouldn't be here. But you know. Okay, the arrow feels like it's going to be quite important this game. So, we'll go... We can just arrow Odin, right? That's got to be the play, surely. Opponent with the big balls Red Skull, and then we will just pop it and lock it and try and pull them with arrow again. Very nice. Odin showing you just how flexible it can be sometimes. Sometimes it can just be a bigger absorbing man. And that's okay. Please don't be a Doctor Doom, because I will be kind of sad. Whoop. Four cubes secured. It's kind of unfortunate though, because you want to play with Wong but fear falling in rank because of the Cosmos everywhere. You'd rather just use him in battle mode. I can't say I blame you for that, honestly. You got a tier 5 card, yes, a very one. Very nice. Series 5 cards are quite hard to get, Headless. What did you acquire? So far, I've opened exactly one of them, and it was Shana the She-Devil. So hopefully you did a bit better than me. Although I do love Shana. I'm glad that I have her. She's really, really fun. The problem is she's also really, really sugar. Yeah, I really lost that right location. You freaked out when you saw nobody to move pop up? No, don't worry. That's just the Polaris. We're all good. We're all Gucci. We've gained a Maximus. I'm not sure if we want that for anything. Sauron? Sauron's an interesting one, at least. A bit narrow, sadly. Not very flexible, but definitely a unique effect. Enjoy. We'll try and storm into Jessica Jones here, I think, a lot of the time. Against what I assume... Okay, so actually not entirely sure what this deck is from the opponent. It could be a number of things, but we can turn the Galactus line off if they're Galactus by storming away the middle, which is quite nice.
Wind, aid my hand.
Wind, aid my hand. Oh, with the Quinjet, sure. Does getting Series 4 cards affect your chances of getting Series 5? No, not in the slightest, unfortunately. Those two pull rates are independent of each other, from what I understand. And this will be wave into She-Hulk plus something on turn 6. Oh, Reality Stone. Why is my opponent so cripplingly boring? Alright, so now this is just going to be... wave into She-Hulk Aero, everything going to plan. How do I feel about Shuri Red Skull Taskmaster deck? I think it is arguably a bit too good, and probably one of the only 2 decks you can really play right now if you're looking to try hard in Marble Snap. Hey, Seven Bank, how you doing? Good to see you back. Know you've been floating in and out. Hit rank 90 with Electro Sandman, very nice. Hopefully Electro Sandman continues to perform very well for you. Congratulations, keep it up. Happy to hear that, Headless. I hope you keep enjoying it. Yeah, people don't realize, but you will hit a series 5 card approximately 1 in every 400 reserves. It's not great. Not the best. So this has to be Aero She-Hulk, right? That's the best we can do. One in 40 for Series 4 as well. It's so many boxes. I forgot about the Space Stone, which I'm going to pretend is not the first time I've done that, but it definitely isn't, because I always forget about the Space Stone. I wish there was some kind of indicator. That's all. Like, why is this... Okay, give me a second to rant about this one, chat, because this one really pees me off, right? I've lost so many games in Marble Snap to forgetting about the Space Stone. Why does this not look like Cloak? Or something similar? Some kind of similar effect that reminds me that my opponent can move something out of this location. Because there is no visual indicator, so I continue to forget that my opponent can move stuff, and I lose games like this one because of it all the time. It's very frustrating when you're like streaming or multitasking when you're playing Snap and doing something else. I just forget. I'm like, I was reading chat, or I was, you know, taking a drink. Maybe I was just scratching my, yeah, you know, like I just didn't notice that a Space Stone went into Lockjaw, you know, went out of Lockjaw, whatever, and I just don't realize my opponent can move. And I've lost so many games to the lack of indicator. Lack of reminder of some sort. It just kind of sucks. Like, it happens less when I'm not streaming, right? I guess it's really a me problem more than anything else, but still. Seems like a bit of a miss. Opponent with the lizard. Yeah, what I mean is, chat, go away. I need to focus on the shiny blue rock. Yeah, no, that's not what I mean at all. Please don't believe that. I do not really care that much about internet points. Speaking of that comment, actually, one of the things that I find the most amazing, always kind of like amuses me, is that I pick up different nicknames in different communities. And the Marble Snap community loves to call me HM. Like, they really do enjoy HM. Which is quite cool. Think I'm sticking around here for now. This feels very winnable thanks to Wave. It's a pretty big detriment for sure. I very much agree. I'm glad I'm not alone on this one. Opponent will Shuri. Adding HM to the list, I guess. Like, I'm sure. Add it to the list all you want. No arrow here means I think we're boned. 200 characters does indeed sneak up on you, you're not wrong. But it's not just you, Brandon. I get HM in the Marvel Snap community a lot. And I kind of like that one. It's pretty sweet. This isn't winnable, because Taskmaster just ruins our entire life. Yeah, no arrow means we're out.
Escaped.
Yeah, still feels very, very hard to compete with these two decks. And anyone who's been hanging out all night knows that we've been basically playing against Thanos and Shuri for the majority of the evening. And I do like this deck quite a lot, but your matchup against both is a bit suspect. You're way better when people are arrowing you. HM is just all reliable for sure, yeah. We'll take old reliable. Old reliable is fine. Opponent with the Angela. We'll get some juice into our Sunspot. Okay. Monsieur Fantastique goes in the middle. How am I finding this list effectiveness and fun level? I've actually played this one quite a bit, JT. It's a deck I was working on towards the middle of last season. I think it's a really good Series 3 only deck, and that's what I built it for. I built it to be a Series 3 only deck. You don't get to... it's a good one to play if you don't have access to Series 4 and Series 5. I do think you have game into everybody. You could definitely win games against just about every single deck in the game. But you also don't really have any good matchups. So you tend to find an awful lot of the time you're very much in a situation where play skill kind of matters, and I enjoy that with a deck. So if you enjoy tight wins that you have to earn, this deck will be great for you. You'll have a great time with it, and it's a lot of fun. I think armor is very, very good right now for sure. Whistle, hopefully that answers your question as well. Hopefully that was a similar style response to what you were looking for. Opponent with the Mysterio here for sure. Yep. Where do we think the real one is, chat? Well, not on the left. It's very much an all-rounder list. You're not horrible into anybody. You're not insane into anybody either. You've just got decent tools against basically the entire ladder. So you'll steadily climb with it if that's what you want to do. So we are going to go for the old wave on 5 line here. Fairly sure. If opponents Serad, this will be quite good for us. They did not. They Green Goblined. Okay. Green Goblin was not a card I was expecting.
All systems go.
Okay, well, this now ends up being 24 in the middle, which is not enough if the Mysterio is real. Hey, Toby, how we doing? Yeah, this is basically my version of good cards, is probably the way of putting it. Because I think Doctor Doom is very, very good. I can always send the Goblin back. It's kind of tempting. Probably just wrong, though. I think I lean towards Doom here. Doom feels like the play. Doom feels like the play. Opponent Killmongers, so that's pretty bad. That is so unfortunate. We come up one short here, right? Ugh. The Killmonger. The Killmonger. Ruining my day. Killmonger continues to be just one of the best cards in Snap right now, in my opinion. Should just play more Killmonger. You heard Pros made a list of bots. If you would like a list of bots, we have an entire video about it on the channel. Made a video about every single thing we know about bots right now. I want to say about a week and a half ago. It might be a bit longer. Highly recommend checking it out. It's got a lot of good info tucked away in it. Well, these locations kind of suck. Thankfully, Doom can get us into these. Electro Sandman Doom Odin feels so strong. It certainly can do when you're not interacted with. But unsurprisingly, the Electro deck's win rate goes up significantly when it draws Electro on turn 3. It's pretty good. But last opponent was definitely just on some kind of Serra control, I think. So at least it's what it looked like. Odin left She-Hulk right was indeed the right play, but we did not make it. Do I ever just +8 every lane? And except I lose mid? That seems kinda good. I think I'm doing that. I really do want to play more Killmonger at the moment. What else can I play that's good with Killmonger? This looks like Zoo, yeah. Looks like Zoo on the other side. Do I feel like Snap's in a bad place right now? Kind of. I think the metagame is stale, if that's what you mean. I'm not going to say Snap is in a bad place necessarily. But is the current metagame stale, and are the top 2 decks a bit overpowered? Yes, I would say so. This looks like Zoo to me. Definitely looks like Zoo to me. I'm going to hold the Sunspot for space reasons. For the content? Yeah, very possibly for the content. Opponent did indeed fill Vibranium Mines with a Vibranium. Okay. So now we kind of have to just beat a Sunspot, right? So if I end up having to play right, which might end up happening and so I don't lose mid, Sunspot is actually worth more than Jessica Jones. So I think we do this so that we have the ability to play everywhere.
Avengers! Assemble.
Opponent fills Captain America's into the middle.
Assemble. Avengers! Assemble.
This kind of sucks. This just comes down to if my opponent has a 6 or not. So if they do have a 6, I lose left. If they don't have a 6, I lose right. Is that right? So I'm basically guessing. Because if they do, I should play the Odin. If they don't, I shouldn't. So we're just flipping. We are basically just flipping. So I guess we're about to find out if they do. Okay, they just retreated.
Victory.
We're all good. Basically flipping. Pull 3 complete, baby. Congratulations. Very well done. How would I nerf Shuri? I would just make her cost 5. Is mostly my answer to that question. I think Shuri mostly is fine if she costs 5. Whoop. Can't Vibranium left. It's a Plunder Castle. Sunspot is worth more than Jessica Jones if we draw exactly Doctor Doom headless. That's all. Dev said they wouldn't nerf her. That's not true, no. There have been some passing comments about her abilities made on Dara JN's stream by Tian Ding, and there's been a Reddit thread with no valid source. But at the moment, we do not have any confirmation that Shuri will or won't be nerfed.
Wind, aid my hand.
All good, Sean, no problem. Appreciate you offering the suggestion. Yeah, like, at the end of the day, if you want to ramp to Shuri, I think that's probably fine. Opponent auto-snapped here. I think this might be a bot. Not 100% sure. The icon definitely makes it possible. We can always snap back later when we have more info. What 6 cost would have won them 2 lanes? They don't need to win 2 lanes. They're winning middle already. They just need a 6 cost card that can win them the left. So probably not a bot because it's got a Shuri. Yeah, they could have passed on the Sunspot, exactly. That was the juggle we were doing. I think this looks like this into Doom is probably the answer. Paying half attention while checking. Fair enough. No worries, Spider. Rather see lots of buffs than a nerf. Yeah, I think I've heard this take a lot, and I mostly agree with it. Would like to see more buffs, less nerfs. Apparently, our opponent Shuri'd their armor, which makes me think this might actually be a bot. So, is Doom always a win here? No, it's not always a win here. She-Hulk is also not always a win here. She-Hulk might be a win here, or nearly always, right? What beats us? Like, Chavez ties and we tie on breakers. Anything bigger than Chavez. So Red Skull we beat, but anything bigger than Chavez we lose. I think I'm supposed to Doom. Not 100% on this being a bot. Seems possible, but not 100%. No, there are a lot of bots. A lot of bots this season. I certainly wasn't sure enough that was a bot to snap back, because I feel like there's a good chance Shuri isn't in a lot of bot decks right now, to be completely honest. But yes, the end of turn emote, the end of game emote means this is definitely a bot. Now we know that. Okay, folks, bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to pop the deck list on the screen for you. I need to just take a really quick bathroom break. I won't be long. Do bear with me for 2 seconds. I'll be right back for some more games before you know it. In the meantime, please do consider throwing us a like and a subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll be back in about 2 minutes after I've really quickly used the bathroom. So bear with me, I'll be right back. Ooh. Apologies for keeping you waiting, chat. If you ever wanted proof that I am not a bot, there you go. Bots do emote now, yes. We mentioned it in the video. Again, highly recommend checking out our video on bots if you want more information about how we know they currently work. But yeah, they now can emote at certain points to kind of convince you they are not a bot. Last 3 variants have all been pixel. Gross. Early Iceman here is fine. We'll keep it out of Jotunheim though. Yep, bots can now emote. They have been taught to emote by Second Dinner. They are trying to make the bots look as human as possible. They do not want you to know. They would rather you think you are playing against players the entire time. That is very much the reason why they exist. So slowly but surely they are increasing what they are capable of doing, making them better, making them more human-like as best they can. I am fine to pull this shocker out. Pixels are so nice looking in ink. I'm not sure I agree with that. I am not a Pixel fan at all. It doesn't matter how you cut the mustard. I think we storm. Storm into Wave into Doom here is likely to play.
Wind, aid my hand.
Or Storm into Wave into Doom She-Hulk here is likely to play. But Will Kazar knock those rocks up a peg. I am a real human. I have feelings. Thank you for your cooperation. They are indeed a very large part of the experience. I can't say I'm a fan of that personally. I would definitely rather wait longer and play against more people. Opponent will juice their Kazar up. This is a bot because this Mystique does not have a particle effect. Our opponent did not snap. We can still lose to Ultron. It's hard for us to lose to Ultron, but we can. So we'll just Doom and She-Hulk off the wave, take our 2 cubes, should we be correct about where they're going to land. We have Blue Marvel instead, that's also fine, we do beat that one.
Victory.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Again, I have no proof of this. I have to say that before I make statements like this one, because I work for a site about news, so I have absolutely zero proof this is true, but I am feeling like I'm seeing a lot more bots this season than I was before. Mad Clown, I would argue that I would like both of those decks to be adjusted, not just one. And at that point, I can not only adjust Thanos, otherwise the only deck you can play is Shuri. Yeah, definitely do not want to only nerf Shuri. Like, that's not what we're looking for. Kiln Icebox. Not great. Opponent spins up into Develia. Yeah, I gotta be honest about it. Definitely feeling like I'm seeing way more bots than I was last season. That peak really sucks. Opponent is definitely front-loading their Nidavellir right now. Okay. How do we want to do this? I feel like this is Jessica Jones into Doom into stuff. Don't really think we're doing a lot else. Yeah, I think the problem is I genuinely am unsure if we've played against a non-Thanos, non-Shuri Zero, non-Darkhawk human being. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm genuinely unsure if tonight we've played against anybody we know wasn't a bot that wasn't playing one of those decks. I think we've played against Galactus too, actually. So maybe we have. Maybe Galactus counts. So this is Storm. Sunspot and Wave end up being worth the same. However we do this. Hulk smash indeed. Thank you for the brand new subscription, Jay Breaker. We appreciate you. Welcome on in. It's the stones that need to be adjusted for sure. 100%. Do it this way, I think. You played that Sarah Control? I did, yes. But I started the night on Sarah Control. I think it's actually my favourite deck in the game right now in terms of play patterns. And if I wasn't trying to be mildly entertaining and playing different stuff over the course of the night, I would just have played it for the entire stream. But I don't like playing the same deck for the whole stream if I can avoid it. Whoa, opponent went plenty wide. This might not be good enough.
Aid my hand.
We're good. Double She-Hulk no good when they have 6 power. Oh, as an opponent, yeah, no, I play. Oh, that's true. Yes, yes, we did play a Sarah Control Mirror. You are correct. We did play one of those tonight. Good point. Good point. Forgot about that one. I still think I agree with the Quinjet fix there as well. I think having the minimum one line that Sarah has is probably just the right way to do it. We have our wave, we have our She-Hulk looking for a big thing to go with them on turn number 6. Got some nice early tempo here otherwise from Sunspot. No good follow-up to Storm means we are playing Monsieur Fantastique. Final Cosmo makes me think this is going to be a big old pile of Shuri Zero. So is Iceman worth more as 7 power, or is it worth trying to snipe the Red Skull? Think I am on snipe the Red Skull duty. And if that's the case, I don't really want a Storm, I just want a Lizard. I've been playing Sarah Control with Darkhawk. No, I've been playing the way more reactive version. I much prefer it for the most part. Okay, so this has to be wave mid into Aero wherever the big thing went. She-Hulk on the right. Cool. We're all good. We can't snap or the plan is to face up and the opponent runs away. But we will take our cubes. We weren't going to snipe Shuri there because it was turn 4. They were just going to play it. We were playing the Iceman Lottery on turn 4, so if they have the Shuri, they're just playing it.
Victory.
Thankfully, Aero is going to just notch off those cubes for us. Thank you kindly. Pull all the goodies into the right place so we can win the other 2 lanes. Wave and She-Hulk is still kind of ridiculous. Still kind of ridiculous. Hope they don't break Lockjaw to fix Thanos. I do think Lockjaw is probably going to be slightly problematic for future card design at this point. I would kind of like the card to only be able to pull up something that costs 1 more than the thing you put in. Personally, but also at this point we're talking about adjusting so many cards that I've always been a fan of adjusting things in small quantities so you don't over adjust. So I would like to see very minimal changes and then more changes if we need to. This is probably a bot again based on the first name and the Mantis, so inclined to believe this is not a real human being. They're stealing stuff from us. If we can get them to snap, we probably will, and then we will look to snap back, because I think we're in a pretty good spot. This bishop does have an effect, so it might still be a person.
Wind, aid my hand.
I can't believe we're basically sitting here playing the bot guessing game, which is just so demoralizing. Like, why? Why is that a thing we have to do? Final Sentinel. Definitely could still be some Devil Dinosaurs in our future. We are probably winning the flooded area here most of the time. So let us try and... Oh, this is a bot because it's got sparkles on a non-foil background. So let's try and score the Mantis into the middle and lock this thing up for sure. Opponent gets Fantastic and Sentinel on the go. We pull across a Sentinel. And now we just get to Doctor Doom and we should be A-OK. Perfect. The data collected on what cards decks are being played include bot data? No, because the data we collect at Marvel Snap Zone only comes from people that are using the tracker. So the information we have is from players submitting it to us. We're not collecting bots winning, bots losing. But obviously we can't filter out the games that you are playing against bots. That's not data we can remove. So this is the Shuri Zero player that we played against earlier on. Yeah, it's been a pretty miserable showing for the matchmaking ladder today. It definitely feels like we're in a spot where nearly every human is playing one of 2 decks. There are like 1 exception every 10 games, and everybody else is a bot. It's pretty crap. Makes me kind of sad. Down comes the armor. So again, this arrow is going to have to do some work for us against what we know is Shuri Zero. This is going to get a little funky, unfortunately, because we cannot play into Miniaturized Lab right now. So Jessica Jones would be the best for us here.
Wind,
Otherwise, we're probably going to get Fantastic and look to find Doom. Opponent will Cosmo, sure. Now Jessica Jones isn't quite as good. That's unfortunate. I could Jessica Jones into Mr. Fantastic. I don't think that's what we want to do. Final Shuri. So we just hold the arrow here again, right? And so we can't play the Iceman this turn. That's the important part. So as long as we go She-Hulk here, hold the Iceman. Opponent should play a big thing. Plays 20 power She-Hulk. And we should get to go arrow into Iceman. And pull the Taskmaster. That is only going to be a problem if they have a Titania or a Zero. So we won't snap. Which they do, so we are not winning with arrow this time around. Yeah, feels like a blind monkey probably could have played that game in exactly the same way, which is not particularly reassuring. I think I'm going to take one or two more with this list, then I'm going to change things up and play a little something else, as we've been playing this one for about an hour and a half now. Apologies for the raging ambulance in the background, if you can hear that. Is Kang a dud? The data on Kang is a bit hard to understand, just because it's so polluted by the fact that it often ends up showing you a result and showing you one you can't beat, so you retreat. So the retreat rate on Kang is like stupidly high as a result. I don't think the card is a dud, personally. I think it's still mostly underexplored, but I think it just belongs in a good cards deck more than anything else. And the real estate you'll get from Kang is by just getting free snaps like all the time, where you can just snap and get your opponent to retreat where you're definitely going to lose. And you'll never play it in tournaments because the card is terrible over there. So I'm not sold on it being a dud just yet. But out of the big three big bads, I would definitely buy it last. Try bounce. Played a fair bit of bounce in the past. I don't really have a list I like right now. I definitely want to play something with a Killmonger in it. I just don't know what that is right now. Like, it just feels like whatever I'm playing should probably include Killmonger and Shang-Chi, right? Might play a little bit of Sarah Nimrod. We made a video on that deck earlier today. People quite enjoyed the video. I think the deck is fun and unique. Maybe we'll do that. I think I storm into Arrow here as the play. Opponent, of course, has the Shuri on 4. This is a bit of a shame, right? Because I can't Arrow into Odin because of the... Yeah, you can't really fit Killmonger into bounce, that's true. Brand new sub coming in, Pablo. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Welcome to the channel. Can't Arrow Odin and win 2 lanes because we're behind by 1 on the right. Play some negative. Don't really have a list I like. I might... The problem is I think if I'm playing negative, I probably want to play Leech, which is a bit rubbish. Hey, Sleep Death, how you doing? This meta does suck. I agree. Colleen Swarm move hybrid deck. Yeah, that one is interesting. It's the old Freddy Babes list, right? I think we're doing this. Opponent took the pass. Well, now I'm in good shape, right? Because I just get to do this. No, wait, I just get to Odin. No, I can't Odin now. That doesn't work. Because this is just She-Hulk into Taskmaster, right? So that's to be She-Hulk here, which is 20. Taskmaster's 20 to 24. So this is 24 as well, but gets bigger because of Mere Isle. So I should just Doom. Doom is correct. Oh, we just get Kanged. Oh. Okay, nice. So our opponent should definitely have snapped there. Blackadder is not what we're on about. Yeah, I don't... You misunderstand. I don't want to play Leech. I don't want to play Leech. That's not a thing I'm interested in. But I think if I was playing negative right now, I would probably put Leech in my deck. Yeah, Sarah Nimrod is a deck I'm very passionate about and still kind of working on. So I might switch to that and work on it a bit. Okay, opponent had some plays. How did we have the energy for all of this? Am I missing something? 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, well, sure. I guess we can pay for that. Yeah, opponent should definitely have snapped, 100%. I didn't expect this. Okay, cool. Opponent got me for sure. Opponent got me for sure. I agree that snapping before Kang is free, and you should definitely do it. You should definitely do it. We got a little bit outplayed there, which is, again, fine. It's going to happen sometimes. I assume Doom is always our best play there to mitigate the She-Hulk Taskmaster shenanigans. And it turns out She-Hulk plus 3 bodies is more problematic. We lose the Polaris. Opponent loses the Spider-Man, sure. Miniaturized Lab is indeed locked off. No good follow-up to Storm right now means I'm just going to Mr. Fantastic. Well, now I feel like I'm probably just supposed to Storm. Yes, this feels like Galactus. Hopefully Aero can help mitigate that problem.
Wind, aid my hand.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to snap there. Like, actually zero. Because it's just safe and free. Well, we have to do this to play around getting Galactus. So, we will. Woo! Oh, Aero never change. I also love Bast in Mr. Negative. The card is fantastic over there. Alright, last game on this one. See if it can take us back to 78. And then I think I'm going to go back to working away on Sarah Nimrod. And see if I can't keep refining that deck list. So I would like to keep refining that. We randomly generate a Dr. Octopus against Thanos, which is not really the best. GG, Anders, GG's. Aero is indeed very good. She is very, very strong. I tried Wong in the with Nimrod Destroyer. I did not. The version I've been playing in Sarah Nimrod that I made a video on today has actually been my favorite non-Galactus Nimrod deck so far, and I do think it's got potential, so I'm going to keep working on it. You reckon I can put the Fear of God into my opponent? Do you think? So I'm going to wave, and then I'm going to pretend that I'm Galactus. we're going to see if they run away. The bluff. We're running a bluff, chat. We're going to wave. We're going to snap, pretend that we're Galactus, and see if our opponent sticks around. They do. Okay. Well, let's put your whole hand over here. See what's up. Oh, the Space Stone is such a cop-out. Also, why is there a Red Skull in this Thanos deck? Someone want to explain that to me? I'm confused. So let's try and move this goose over, if we're lucky. Lockjaw lane was better for it. Not if they played into it, right? Lockjaw is a hell of a drug, I agree. His machinations are beyond our understanding. Yeah, I mean, we're not winning this one. We ran the bluff. The bluff did not work. No bluff skis for us. Alright. Let's get back to refining. I actually have to adjust this list ever so slightly before we start, because I want to try something new. So, if you haven't seen this deck, this was the most success we had yesterday with Nimrod, with a shell based around buffing it and killing it on turn 6, courtesy of Serra, and also being able to pull all kinds of other weird Serra turns to play back against our opponent. And it was a lot of fun, and it was genuinely quite good. But I do think we have a slot to fill. And I'm not really sure what's supposed to go in it. Because Wave is tempting to accelerate towards Serra and Nimrod and make our nut turns happen, but Wave is so good for so many decks in the opposing hands at the moment. Psylocke could be interesting for that reason, but Psylocke's not very good late. Yeah, Okoye's replacement is still a question mark, for sure. You will get them sporadically now at more than 100 max. You will still get 100 sometimes. Psylocke turn 4. Yeah, Psylocke turn 3, you mean, right? So Psylocke's interesting in the middle, but it's pretty crap if you don't have one of your payoffs already. So I'm not really sure it's good enough. We could Shuri. We can just slam Shuri into every deck. Part of me wants to try Absorbing Man. So that I have a backup Forge, a backup Carnage, a backup Venom. Wouldn't Wolverine make some sense here? Wolverine probably fits in the Bucky Barnes slot, I think. Excuse me, sorry. I don't think you want that many more 2s. Backup Killmonger, backup Shang-Chi. I think I want to try the Abs, man. I think Abs is something I want to test, so we will. The ability to have extra copies of these powerful effects seems quite good. Like, the ability to, like, Carnage with Nimrod in play on turn 6. So we got, like, Nimrod 5, Carnage Absman 6 is quite interesting. So I think I'm going to start here, going to test it here, and see how we go. Yeah, we definitely had a number of games on video. So if you want more games of this deck, by the way, there's a video that went out today with gameplay from it. We had a lot of games on video that were just like Carnage Venom on turn 6 to Nimrod everywhere. So it does come up. Okay. Yeah, abs seems interesting enough that I'm willing to test it. Where do we put this Bucky for now? Probably just in New York. Quantum Realm. That doesn't do a lot for us. Can I afford to burn this Venom? Probably have to burn this Venom or I'm not doing anything. Could play Magic. The problem with Magic is that we always want a Sarah or Nimrod on 5. So playing something else probably just doesn't fly. It doesn't make your combo go any bigger because you're just spending turn 6 playing Sarah or Nimrod. So I'm not sure we want the extra turn. Opponent with the Electro. So this could be Ramp, this could be Galactus. Unclear at this time. So I have to Nova in the middle because I expect myself to be Nimrodding into the middle to kill it with something. Nimrod does offer a little bit of Galactus protection. What? Okay, so this is just Ramp, right? This is Electro into Shuri, so it's just Ramp for big things. If we get leeched, we get leeched. There's really not a lot we can do about it. I think we just have to set ourselves up for double Shang-Chi. Which is not very exciting, but I think it's the best we've got. So I guess we Sarah over here. Oh, opponent's a Nimrod deck 2. Well, now what do we do? I can't Shang-Chi that. Or at least I really don't want to. I can Nimrod Carnage myself, but my Nimrod is only 6 power. I don't see a way to win this. I can't do the math quickly enough. I'm willing to lose a cube to find out. That makes sense. So it is just a destroyer deck. That's fine. Like, again, this was very much losing a cube for information. Wanted information, got information. We're good. Another season, another Infinite with Shuri. Can't say I blame you. Can't say I blame you. I think that's an important part of Marvel Snap for me as well. Is like, especially when you're brewing, right? My opponent's clearly doing something a little bit different too. So gaining information when you're trying to like create a deck is worth it. It's worth it. It's worth giving away some cubes sometimes. Weird game. Definitely a bit of a weird game. Hold the Nova for now. Don't know where we want it to go. we had a weird one where it was like, so we set ourselves up there to double Shang-Chi in the face of our opponent Shuri, and then they played something with Shuri that we couldn't Shang-Chi. It was like, oh. But I think if it's basically anything else, if it's not Nimrod, we're just like, fine, we probably can't lose. Definitely very curious. Again, I'm going to hold this Forge for now. Don't need to play anything just yet. Opponent with the dagger. Wow, this is some... Look at that variant. Like, I don't play enough move to rationalize buying this thing, but I'll click it for you now. Look at that. Is that not just like the best? Maybe add Zabu plus Shuri. I mean, again, Shuri is awkward because we often want to play Sarah on 5. Playing Shuri into Sarah is not a combo. That dagger variant is incredible. I'm a big fan of that. Alright, so now we're going to go... Do I want to turn off Vormir or give my opponent a hood? I think I want to turn off Vormir over giving my opponent a hood. Opponent's deck looks incredible. Some pimp. Look at the basketball Spider-Man Miles Morales as well. Opponent's deck looks incredible. Big fan of all the gorgeous cards over there. I think this is Tempo Shang-Chi, unfortunately, just because we do not have much else going on. The Vulture, unfortunately, is a little too small to get killed here. A man can hope. So we're going to go Sarah into Flurry of Stuff, hopefully. Little Polaris to Forge out, which is a little bit unfortunate. And Cloak. Okay, there's so much math to be done here. I do not know where my opponent's stuff is gonna go. I don't think I could ever play this deck while streaming. I think it would just break my entire brain. This is going to be a lot of guesswork, I think. Yes, this is a lot of guesswork. My opponent's cards could literally end up anywhere.
Last time I trusted someone,
I lost an eye. Brand new sub coming in, Mark M. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Forge is pretty great in this deck. I've been very impressed by it, honestly. This is the blind leading the blind, chat. We are basically guessing where stuff is going to go. Is this Silver Surfer? Bruh. Alright, fair play to my opponent. Good lord. Opponent out here playing Move Surfer and getting enough stats in the middle there to get through that. I got all the respect from my opponent. Nicely done. Nicely done. Good old bit of Surfer move. I do miss that deck sometimes. Don't get Bishop in this deck. What's not to get? It is a proactive 3-drop that is fine to play on turn 3, fine to play on turn 6, and likes it when you play a lot of cards, which we do in this deck. Can't be mad about that one. Opponent's deck looks great. Opponent played it great. If every game looked like that, I would be much happier. Has anyone ever compared me to Admirable? I've been complimented by Admirable, which was quite nice. But I don't think I've ever had the comparison. I would, of course, again, any opportunity to work with. Well, when my voice is working anyway. Any opportunity to work with people and cast, I would love to get involved. I really would. Yeah, Sarah and Bishop are definitely a bit of a match made in heaven. Traditionally, anyway. We do find the Nimrod. Okay. I think the Bishop is going on the right here. Opponent with the turned off Maximus. We get to go. We get to go kind of haywire here, right? We can Venom this so that. Wait, hang on. We want a Nimrod here. And then go... Okay, right, I see it. That's not... So we need to Nimrod mid so we can kill twice, right? So we go Hood. And we don't Venom. I've got a deck in mind you're really looking forward to using. You haven't been able to use yourself yet. I want to play some Dazzler decks, but I don't think they're very good. But beyond that, nothing really jumps to mind. Bishop's been quite reasonable in this deck, where it's very often been somewhere between 6 and 8 power, which I think is a good enough rate on a 3-cost card. It's definitely potentially replaceable, but you want a 3-cost card that's good on turn 3 and a 3-cost card that's good on turn 6. Definitely replaceable, though. Given that we can still draw Shang-Chi, I think we are supposed to stick around here. Obviously, if we don't draw it, we're probably in trouble. We do not draw it. So, do we ever win this game through the Red Skull? We were 1 in 4. We were 25%. So this is going to be Carnage. So we just don't ever beat Taskmaster, right? So we can Carnage the Nimrod across. The Carnage here doesn't matter. It just sends another Nimrod over here. So we beat everything but Taskmaster. But we do not beat Taskmaster. I think we gotta let it go.
Escaped.
Again, game is super winnable if we can draw the Shang-Chi. But we did not. So instead we will die. Maybe I'm supposed to gamble on them not having the Taskmaster there, but it feels kind of loose. Feels kind of loose. Our free copy of Patriot is not really what we're looking for, to be honest. We only just started playing, John. Literally only just started trying it, so I don't know. And I'm not going to find out, because my deck is now full of rocks. Might play the Patriot now. Oh. Yeah, we've not really had a chance. I like the idea of being able to go Carnage in theory, while also having a backup Shang-Chi. Being able to do some other stuff. I think the card makes sense in theory, but I haven't actually seen the practicality yet. At least my opponent's deck is full of rocks for their lockjaw. That could be promising at least. Could be promising at least. So we are going to go Rock Forge. Probably into Nimrod here, hoping to find the Destroy effect. If we don't find the Destroy effect, I would like to find a Killmonger. No, only just started working on this deck again tonight, John. So I've not tried anything else in that slot just yet. Still figuring out. What's supposed to go in that slot. Alright, 7 power Nimrod, hope to peel a Destroy effect or Killmonger is basically the plan. So we want Carnage, Venom, or our Killmonger. Any of the above will do. Opponent gets a rock in the middle. She-Hulk comes down. I guess I'll take the Shang-Chi now as well, potentially. We actually got our opponent's Shang-Chi, which is beyond funny to me. So we just go Shang, Rock, Rock. Shang, Rock, Rock seems good. Opponent moves the Lockjaw out. Do they get lucky? Let's find out. They do not. But this means that we're losing in the middle, right? We lose this by 1. We almost won a game with 4 rocks in play, man. My opponent had to draw the blue marble, which they did. They peeled blue marble from their own deck. God damn it. 4 rocks with the randomly generated Patriot was nearly enough. Nearly enough. But instead we don't get there. Alright. Patriot tech card for sure. Close one, but not quite. Don't really want to give my opponent a copy of the Hood, I don't think. Hey, you got paid for having it in the Nidavellir lane. I'm not going to argue with that. Going to hold the Forge and the Demon here for post-Bishop. Opponent with a Forge of their own. Okay. Haven't seen an opposing Forge in a hot second. Oh, the Bifrost is not really what we wanted to see. Have to assume this is a bot based on Forge into Doctor Strange, and we would be correct. So we're going to try and encourage our opponent to snap before we look at snapping ourselves. So we go Bucky Barnabas into Forge. Bucky Barnabas into Forge is correct. Opponent will give me a Craven. So we get to Nimrod into Nova Venom Demon is the plan. Gonna start running Patriot every deck as anti-leech tech. I think you want it more than me if that's the case. Opponent snaps. Do I feel good enough to snap back? I think so. Might regret this. Let's find out. just the Iron Fist for my opponent. Sure. So Carnage would have been the perfect draw there. We weren't lucky enough to find that one, but we do get to go Venom mid. Craven Demon. The Heimdall shifts things across. That it does. Iron Fist kicks the Heimdall out. Nimrods across the board. Not the most fulfilling victory given the bot, but the deck doing what it's supposed to do. Obviously, if we find Carnage, it's even better. We get to go even further. If we find Sarah a turn earlier, we get to go a little further. But we'll take our 8 cubes from the bot while we're allowed to have them. But I think it's fair to say at this point, based on tonight alone, that we have been seeing significantly more bots than we were last season. It's pretty telling, I think. Project Pegasus. Well, I guess I have a Sarah now. Gonna hold the Forge. No reason to play this out when I have no good target. Opponent just dumps their stuff on the left-hand side. Nimrod did not lose me this game, correct? Opponent is on Shuri 0. Mark another one for the humans on Really Stupid Decks team. Looking for our Shang-Chi. Kind of want to take a pass here. Might be a little bad if we draw exactly Nimrod, which we're 1 in 6 to do. Looking for Shang. Would prefer to hold it if I draw Bishop. I think I take the pass here. Hand is very reduced. It's not ideal, obviously, but it's not like we're going to be struggling. We got punished a little bit because we drew exactly Nimrod, but that's okay. Opponent does snap. This is going to be kind of tough, but again, we're in this annoying spot where we can draw Shang-Chi, so we're probably just not going anywhere. Not that way. We do it this way. So we actually don't want to pop the Nova. So what we actually do is we do it this way. $20 power She-Hulk for the opponent. Again, very much just a case of, hey, I would like to draw a Shang-Chi, please. Basically, probably the only thing that's going to matter here. Which we do. Opponent will Taskmaster, so I feel like we're pretty priced into just double Shang-Chiing this, right?
All systems go.
It's tempting to not do that and just pop the Nimrod, but I'm fairly certain that this is just what we want to do. The problem is, opponent, of course, has reveal priority, so Armor and or Cosmo will absolutely ruin everything I hold dear. So I won't be snapping back. Buckle up, folks. You're about to get outplayed by cheap, proactive interaction. Why would you put the armor there? Why would you ever put the armor there? Yeah, we might also have got arrowed there. There's plenty of things to lose to. But I think my opponent just kind of threw that game. I'm not sure why you would... If I play anything... Oh, they thought I was going to pop the Nimrod. But they have reveal prior. Yeah, they thought I was going to pop the Nimrod. So they armored left to stop me destroying my Nimrod. And their stuff died. It took me a second. It took me a while to figure out why you would armor, but he was trying to block the Nimrod. It makes sense. Nimrod secretly winning the game. Actually, legitimately, that game doesn't go that way if Nimrod's not there. That's so funny. Absorbing mana replaced the Koya. It has for testing purposes. Yeah, we are trying some stuff. Oh, No Balls. No Balls is a viewer of the stream. Yeah, stop that, Nimrod. Do it. Stop the Nimrod. I bet you won't. That's so funny. Oh man, that's... Okay, well, unfortunately No Balls is playing Thanos, which makes me sad, but understandable, I guess. Understandable, I suppose. Sakar is potentially really good and potentially really bad for us. Interestingly, Absorbing Man here could just be an extra copy of the Hood. Or it could be nothing. Or it could be 0 things, because we got leeched. Yes, Project Pegasus turn 1 meant that we had both in play. That is correct. Man, I love me some leech. Delightful. I have enjoyed this game. Oh, shit. Alright, I guess we're looking for a destroy effect. I guess I'm holding the demon to go with Shang-Chi on turn 6 if I have any chance of winning this. Killmonger is still in my deck. Okay. Shang-Chi now needs to... Oh, okay. The problem is, I can't Shang this turn because my opponent can still move stuff. From the Space Stone. The problem is they can move stuff on turn 6 as well. So... Not sure this is good enough anyway. Lockjaw pulls a Space Stone. Devil Dinosaur in New York. We draw the Killmonger. I mean, yeah, Kang seems pretty free. Good luck with it, Peter. Let me know how it goes. Sadly, we are 1 energy short of doing both of these. It's just never winnable. Never winnable. Between the existing board and my opponent being able to screw around with New York, I just can't win that one, I don't think. The Absman has seemed pretty reasonable so far, but our games have not. Our games have been quite awkward. Some interesting ones, though. We've definitely had some interesting games. To be fair, I feel like there's one or two of them that we could have played a bit differently, and one where it's like, okay, well, if you draw the Shang-Chi, you just win. But unfortunately, we are against Thanos yet again, and so this is a very unique feeling, right? And I kind of want to explain this to chat in the best way that I can. I should be excited that I have my anti-Thanos card in my hand, that I have access to my Killmonger ready to go for turn 6. I am not excited because I don't want to draw it before I get leeched. Leech turn 4 your first game? Yeah, I'm afraid that is gonna happen. You know what, I truly feel like Nimrod was a 4-cost card. And then when Zabu was cracked, they didn't want it to be anymore. No balls, take your time. Honestly, you don't have to apologize to me. I don't care. Like, I've said to people before, like, go ahead, play the good cards. It's a card game. Play the good cards. Do the thing that you're supposed to do. Like, I don't mind. Play everything you want to play. Please don't find a leech off this lockjaw. Please don't. Anything but leech is fine. I can work with Aero. That's okay. So my opponent has one space to work with. They did Time Stone. It can't be right to Killmonger here. It just can't. If I get leeched, I get leeched. It's fine. Opponent takes the pass. Where is he going to move the lockjaw to? I think he'd rather get another casino spin. I have not found the Nimrod, which is a bit annoying. So I guess I have to Venom last. No. Venom last gives me access to another Venom if I draw the Nimrod. The She-Hulk comes down. Have the Shang-Chi for that. They also use space. Cool, I missed the space. I was paying attention to the Time Stone. So I do draw the Nimrod, but it doesn't matter because I'm supposed to go Shang-Chi Killmonger here, right? Just always. Best I can do. We're not being a devil dinosaur though. Thank you, Lockjaw, for giving my opponent enough stats to win the game. It feels so disheartening to keep being in spots like this with Lockjaw, where it's like, well, I'm supposed to stick around, but the game basically gets decided by what you pull out of the game. Like, we're basically like rolling on what the Lockjaw finds. Just a big old pile of chance, unfortunately. So it feels like you can't retreat in those spots because you win the game quite a lot. Like any stone, any cheap card, like you win, you're fine. But anything big, you lose. It's like very, very bleh gameplay experience. Okay, this hand is not doing a whole lot right now, truth be told. Not doing a ton. Rickety Bridge. Well, I would like to draw my Nimrod, please. Alternatively, I can just throw Bucky into it. Think I would rather throw Bucky over here. Or like somewhere else. Am I still holding the Nova? Probably not. I think there are more elegant fixes than that border, to be honest. Personally, I just like it to be able to find a card in your deck that costs one more. I think that'd be a nice way to do it. Alright, looking to draw our Nimrod, please. Nimrod would be nice. Gonna put the pressure on my opponent. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. Thank you. Imposter, I'm glad that video helped you out, my dude. I can't, so it makes me sound like I'm asking for praise. That's not what it's about. Like, that video was the longest amount of work that ever went into any piece of content I made for Marvel Snap Zone. It took like 30 plus hours of research and editing. Opponent wants none of it. Sure. It was a lot of work to compile, so I'm really glad that it's helping you score cube after cube. Love to see it. Nidavelli, sure. Got a link to the bot vid? You can probably get you one. You'll have to give me a minute. Opponent with a hood of their own. We have explored America Chavez. It doesn't play very well in a Serra deck, unfortunately. This deck is surprisingly good at winning without Nimrod, to be honest, although these last few games really haven't shown that. Which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Yeah, bear with me. I'll see if I can grab you a link to the bot video. Sorry if I miss any messages real quick, chat. Just going to have to crack open a Chrome tab. I did have one open before, but I obviously closed it all down when we started lagging, like I just did immediately after I opened a Chrome tab. Don't you love having good technology? Oh god, the lag is so bad. What is up with my computer?
This all seems
Thank you
horrible.
very much for the brand new subscription. Appreciate you. Alright, so this is the hood into Forge, into Nimrod, into Destroy Effect, hopefully. Polaris is a bit frustrating. There we go. Let's get this tab closed before my computer explodes. There you go. There is the link you require. Yes, I agree that the prevalence of armor and Cosmo is not very good for our friend Nimrod right now. So basically looking for any destroy effect is the truth. We're not going to find one though, because opponent will Black Widow us. Unfortunate. Well, this game might still be winnable here, to be honest. Because we can... How do we want to do this? There's 5 here. Shang Demon. Alternatively, we go Shang Demon. This feels smoother. Let's do this. Spider-Woman is a bit too big, I think. Opponent didn't play for Bar Sinister at all. For sure, Jacob. Yeah, I love that deck. It's one of my favorites. Not quite enough stats here either. We're having a rough time with this one at the moment. Not performing as well for us as it was earlier on, which is a bit of a shame. See if we can't turn it around a bit. But yes, unsurprisingly, folks, the Nimrod deck struggles a bit into the room that is 9,000% Cosmo Armor Leech. I do genuinely think this deck has legs, though. We genuinely had quite a bit of success with it when we were working on it, hence why I'm continuing to work on it. Unsurprisingly, at this point, I really should put money on whether or not it's a Quinjet or like a Lizard to start the game. Because it's always one or the other. Killmonger gets their left lane if we see how the turn plays out, sure. But we obviously don't know what the last card going into Nidavellir is. No worries, Phil. Take care of yourself, buddy. Have a good one. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. We do find the Killmonger, so if we don't get leeched, we might well be a happy man. So let's go Nova Forge. There is the She-Hulk. So we're looking for Nimrod or Shang-Chi. Really, one of the above would be lovely. We do find the Shang-Chi. I think I will be doing that now. And please don't leech me. Please, please do not leech me. This has been my TED Talk. It's just always a leech, isn't it? I'll stick in here because I beat things that aren't leech. My opponent's going to get a second cube, and they're going to leech me. Because that's what that snap means. No? No? Yes. Yes, leech. Cool. It's just always a leech, dude.
All systems go.
Why even put the Killmonger in your deck? Like, imagine if I draw the Killmonger here instead, right? Yeah, where were you, Nimrod? Cheers. Cheers, buddy. Appreciate you turning up on time.
Escaped.
Good God, this format is miserable. It's just... We need a balance patch like 2 weeks ago. Well, Quantum Realm gives us some nice free value on this copy of the Hood. In case we don't want to kill it with this Killmonger, or in case we can't kill it with this Killmonger. Hold the wands for now. Always drawn after your opponent's leech, but not before. I mean, a man can dream, right? A man can dream. Cloak means this is either move or Galactus, and I'm not sure which. Here's hoping, Imposter. Here's hoping. I love it when my deck doesn't work. Might as well play District X. I mean, it's basically the same thing, right? Tech in the Infinite. No. I'm not going to make my deck bad just to try and have a slightly better chance against my opponent's better deck. Not really where you want to be. Not really where you want to be. Not really a ton we want to do here, to be honest. Might just tempo Killmonger, but I don't think I actually want to do that. Homogeneous is the word, yeah. Yeah, I'll agree that homogeneous is the word. We can't get to this Nimrod quickly enough, I don't think. So what I'm actually going to do is this. And then I'm going to assume my opponent Galactus is now. So as long as I have reveal priority, which I might not have. Oh, okay, I balls this up. Oh, bugger. Okay, I screwed this up. I was going to Nimrod for protection, pull a Nimrod across into the lane. But I don't get to do that. So now I have to rely on... So my opponent always goes mid. Always. So how do I not have reveal priority? The answer is I don't. There's just no way. So my opponent hasn't snapped, so I'll play like it isn't Galactus. It's going to be Galactus mid. It's not Galactus mid. Why is it Galactus left? Why would you want priority? Do I win this? I think I win this. Don't even need the Shang-Chi because it's a quantum realm. Like, my opponent's stuff is always going to have 2. He might have null, that's true. Yeah, the null beats quantum realm, which is fine. Should have Shanged this, I guess. So again, this is the problem, right? We beat everything else. So this is what we can't Shang, right? So we can Shang Demon. That's the best we can do. So we lose to any 2 cards, or we lose to null. We can't beat both, right? Because if we go Shang Demon, my opponent plays 2 things. It literally doesn't matter what they are. We lose 6-2, 6-4. But if we Shang and they null, we win. So I have to pick a lane, I guess. I guess I'm supposed to Shang because it's more likely to be null. Yeah, okay. I think I'm supposed to Shang there because it's more likely to be null. But we're basically 50-50ing anyway. But yeah, think we are supposed to Shang that one. It's a nice looking Agent 13. Lucky Guela is not really a location we wanted to see. Good lord. Guess we're trying to try and throw things in there as opposed to playing in there. Yeah, Explodium, I agree. I think after thinking about it a bit, it should basically always be should basically always be a null there. The opponent really shouldn't be playing 2 cards. And in a world where it's basically always a null, I should Shang instead. I agree. We find ourselves with a Killmonger. Killmonger's pretty good here. So we just go... We just take the pass, I think? Take the pass. Opponent is indeed a bot. See if we can get a snap out of them. I'm not sure we do, but we'll try. The free snap is obviously worth quite a bit if we can get it, so we'll do our best. It's hard to commentate on these bot games and have it feel meaningful, unfortunately. Just playing battle mode with your friend, you both wind up playing Agatha. That's genuinely quite funny. Agatha cloning Batsing herself is kind of hilarious. So this always ends up being Bishop plus in the mid. So we go Forge. Killmonger Demon. Dinosaur does not beat 18.
Victory.
Alrighty folks, I think I'm going to call it there for this evening. It's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster, honestly. Snap Ladder feels weird, and I don't really know what else I'm supposed to say about it right now. It's just kind of in a very unique situation. I intend on being back on Friday for a little bit more of this, so feel free to come and hang out at 6:30 GMT on Friday nights. It would be very, very cool to see you then. Just before our first ever tournament, which would also be very cool to see you at. But until then, I have been HowlingMines. You've been amazing. Thank you for hanging out tonight. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your night, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon. But until then, have a good one.